It's Mark Pyers. And it's Real Talk. Today, looking for another way to ease my mind and help my living. It's Real Talk. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pyers' Real Talk. I'm here to connect with you, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on day 560 in a row of the Mark Pyers Real Talk Show. That's right. Head to YouTube, subscribe, and ding the bell. That's the platform of choice, people. And that's where we go and chat. Hope you guys will join in. There is a chat window here on the side. You guys can join in and have any requests. I'll be playing them on the guitar for you tonight. And I'm thinking we're going to go through the entire Donald Trump show, episodes from 1 to 10, and even play the prequel. I'm really excited about these. We're getting closer and closer to an election that no one's really talking about. You got a guy hiding in a basement, Sleep Sofa Joe. I don't know if you know this guy. Sleeping in the basement, bumbling Biden. He's a bumbling Biden sleeping on the sofa. So I'm loving where all the content comes from. I don't know if you guys have seen any of these yet. I dropped a couple in the short story sections of my Facebook page just so people can start seeing what's in these clips. And the most controversial one is obviously the Don Lemon one at the end, where I just use content and clips of Don Lemon and let him speak, and basically dig his own grave. And Trump just kind of talks through it. So anyway, we're going to get into some stuff tonight. I hope you guys get involved. This is an interactive program, okay? What started as me broadcasting to a screen for whoever knows how long is now an opportunity for us to connect truly and to ask questions, get into things. You're like dealing with something, you just want to talk about it, bring it up on the show. Let's get into a dialogue. I got a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one, my real estate business. You know, for a while I've been telling you guys this is a weird shift for me because my business died in a moment. As soon as coronavirus, when you shut down and everybody stays in and you sell homes for a living, that's a scary thing. So for about a month, little over a month, all I'm thinking is, okay, what do I do next? Maybe Real Talk is where we go. Maybe it's the beat seat. And all of a sudden, my man Gangsta Cat, good to see you from Norway, my friend. And all of a sudden, the phone starts ringing. And I did say about a month and a half ago, I said, guys, everyone's sitting at home. Just like I say at holiday season or on New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, they're sitting at home on their computers. They're looking at real estate. And they're making a list, and they're checking that list every single day, and they're saying to their husband, when's this quarantine going to be over? And I cannot wait to go and see that one. I got to get in there because I don't want to be in this apartment anymore in New York City. And before you know it, that's right. It's the craziest market I've ever seen in my life. Every single piece of real estate that I had on the market in contract. Closed on everything's closing, and now I'm bringing new stuff on the market. Here's my question to you. Are you looking to get out and get into something right now? Maybe before this school year, if it actually comes, who knows? But are you looking for a change? Give some Zabrowski to you first and foremost. You need a woohoo. Check it out. Woohoo! That's right, the woohoo. There's nothing better in this world than a woohoo. You show me a woohoo, I'll show you someone smiling. All right, so bottom line, real estate is on fire right now. And so if you are looking to sell your home, here's my pitch. I'm the social media guy. I'm the influencer on here trying to show people what's great, what's positive. What's positive is the house you need to sell in a market that people want to buy. So position it. If we could put your house in the market, we do a Real Talk there once a month. We won't even need the month. I have a feeling we do one Real Talk there and we sell the house because everything's on fire right now. I have clients calling me, couldn't sell their house 5-6 years ago. This is the time. Let's put it on. You know that number you tried to get 5 years ago? You're going to get it. You may get multiple offers right now. So here's what I provide to each and every seller. Free aerial photography. Not just once. I go there once a month and I shoot new aerial photography. There's a beautiful sky and it's not the 1 month mark. I go there and shoot anyway. I'm always thinking about how I could provide better footage, better content for my properties, for my clients in order to sell their properties quicker. So that's what I do. You want to hire someone, get someone who's proactive, someone who's going to bring something to the table. My value added is I'm the drone guy. I was the first guy in Fairfield County to think of the idea of providing drone aerial photography. I was on the news for most of 2013 because of it. Fox News Connecticut, Channel 12, Channel 8, and it started in New Canaan. Had a client My client was a PR guy. And I just sold his house, came out with this new tech. I was going to offer my clients drone photography. That was the bit. In my mind, I'm like, look, I need to show. Here's what I figured out. It's 2013, and I heard a new stat. Jacob, how are you? Denise, how are you? I heard this new stat in 2013, that the attention span of the individual on the screen is like 3 seconds. And if they don't like your property from that first photo, they're gone. They're going to the next property. And I'm thinking, okay, so how do I get them to look at my second photo? I got to provide the most amazing photo in the world to get them to say, geez, okay, let me look at this one. Let me see what this one is. Let me see. Wow, okay. What's the kitchen look like? I got them now. Okay? So show the expansiveness of the property, the drone. And this is how it all started. I see a piece of paper on my desk when I walked into my old office at Coldwell Banker, and it says helicopter photography. I get into a helicopter. And this guy goes like every couple months. He gets a bunch of agents to pay him. He goes for, I think it was $350. He gets in a helicopter with his telephoto lens. I don't know how the hell he's getting the angle that I know he needs of that property. He's shooting it. You have to wait 2 weeks, and you get your photos. This is 2013. And I'm a young guy. I'm like, look, what am I doing? I'm going to be selling high-end real estate for the rest of my life. Why would I hire a guy for $350 when I could just go buy a drone? That's literally what I said. I went and bought a drone. I'm like, I'll figure it out. I love stuff like that. You know, so I'm like, I'll just figure it out. I got my drone. I crashed it a few times. And I started realizing anybody could buy a drone, but you have to have an eye. You're either a creative person or you're not. And so that's the differentiation between someone like me who's going to buy a drone as a real estate agent and another real estate agent who's like, hey, I'm going to shoot drone photography of your house. I'm like, okay, are you an artist? Are you an artist? If you're not an artist, get in the back of the line, buddy, because I've seen some of the aerial photography from people that are not artists, from realtors who are like, I have a drone. It's not good, guys. It's not good at all. Here's the thing. I'll give you the secret right now. There are 3 to 5 angles in every property that will just make you melt. You have to figure out where they are. You have to see them before you even get the drone in the air. And then you're just moving it to that angle you saw. That's what an artist does. It's not just throwing it against the wall. My mentor says something to me very often. He says, only a gifted few can wing it. Now, some people would say Mark Pyers coming out on doing a show called Real Talk for 560 days in a row would be considered winging it. I don't consider Real Talk winging it because I'm speaking with my soul. There is no winging it because I let the moment happen. Winging it is not knowing what you're going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to let the moment happen. That's not winging it. That's letting the moment become something and being a part of it and making something that we could all remember. And we should be doing that, each and every one of us on a daily basis. But I'll tell you what, this coronavirus and everything else that's going on, the fear-mongering because there's an election in 4.5 months, it's mental. It's mental. They're taking you out of the most important moment of your life. This moment. Are you with the person sitting there, well, I just can't wait until November 4th. How do you know you're going to be here? You got right now. That's what you got. We're so consumed. Oh, we got to get that president in. Ooh, we got to try to steal this from that. We got to try to make him look bad. We see it, first of all. You guys who think you're so slick with that fake news, I'm pretty sure even the people who are voting on your side know what you do is crap. Like, they see it and they're just like, yeah, this is crap. Anybody who's worth their salt who wants to spend a half hour and watch a full clip of something you see first and foremost on CNN, you should take a look at the clip, look at the background, go find it on YouTube and watch the entire freaking thing. Because these people are so crazy. I'm going to share something. I found this on the Hammerlin. I was going to bring Hammer out. I can't find Hammer's mustache. Has just disappeared on me. I can't find the Hammer stash. Well, that's a problem, people. But look at this. These are the types of headlines I see. If he loses, Trump must resign immediately and make Biden president. No. Really? 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 Oh, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's just make Biden president right away. You ever heard the Constitution of the United States? You can't, that's not how it works. Mike Pence becomes the president. These people just post. They're like, oh, publish? A moron. Oh, who does he work for? Let's see. Let's see who this idiot works for, so you guys have an idea of what's going on out here. Jesse Robinault from the Daily Beast. Yeah, guys, the Daily Beast. Check it out. We're going to get Trump out, and he's going to resign. I think that's the only way we could save the Republic. First of all, Republic dies with Joe Biden. I'm sorry, the guy's forgot his name already. He thinks he's Joe Biden's husband. I'm Joe Biden's husband, Joe Biden. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah, he's still in the race somehow. He falls asleep on camera sometime between now and November 3rd. Guaranteed you heard it here on Real Talk. Guaranteed. There's no chance of anything else. There's no chance. If you watch him, I'm cringing before he even speaks. I cringe. I don't even know what he's going to say. I'm cringing. I feel so bad for the man. I feel so bad for him that I have to just rip him to shreds because he should bow out. Bow out. Put someone in there who knows how to keep a sentence together, can have a conversation, can talk about foreign policy without saying, I got to take a poop-a-doop. The dude said I got to go boom, boom, boom. Excuse me, we're going to watch all of this right now, guys. I got to get into it because I'm so frustrated with everything that's going on out there. And I see so much ignorance, I can't stand it anymore. If you're in the column that says, what the heck has Trump done anyway? Just please write in, what has Donald Trump's accomplishments been since he was in office? Just do that for yourself instead of saying something so ignorant. Because you may not like the guy, but what he's done is a ton of stuff that's helped the inner cities, helped all communities, and every single person has been doing well and much better because of the actions taken by this president. You choose to not look at facts. You choose to listen to the Don Lemonheads of the world who are only doing one thing, trying to incite violence, trying to incite fear, trying to get you to believe that this guy is Hitler. Watch the freaking clips, guys. It's amazing to me. I'm here trying to promote positivity, and I have no choice but to get into the fray in order to get you guys to understand what's going on. But if the positivity guy is telling you that you're being blinded by the darkness of the liberal media, and it's not just, it's the radical left. This is ridiculous, guys. Did you hear this? This is what they just push. Send. Let me just publish this. Hey, guys, check out the story. I'm about to publish it. Check it out. If Trump loses, he must resign immediately and make Biden president. Yeah, the sleep sofa. Let's make the sleep sofa president. That's a great idea. Let's put Sleep Sofa Joe in there. Who? Bumbling Biden? Sleep Sofa Joe? Yeah, same guy. Let's put him in. That's a great idea. Guys, he's the one who created the crime bill in 1993 or whatever it was that put all of these people in jail. Now they're saying, oh, he's going to do something for us. No, he's done nothing for you guys. He was the guy who put you all in jail. Then I want to show you, when you get to the Don Lemon clip, that Don Lemon had a problem with all the violence in the communities in the inner cities in 2013. He spoke about it passionately. I was moved by some of that. I'm like, wow, Don Lemon. And then he shows his real colors. You'll see that as well. But I'm just blown away at the hypocrisy. You'll see in the Great Wall of Trump episode, it's episode 9, that Bill Clinton had a problem with illegal immigration. Again, immigration is the most beautiful thing in the world. Everybody immigrates into this country legally. This president has said the entire time, legally. We just don't want them coming over the border. We need to know who's coming into this country, people. Do you lock your doors? Do you have a fence around your house? Do you lock your doors at night? If you do, then you're a hypocrite. If you're like, hey, let's just let everybody in, then leave your freaking doors open at night. I lock my doors. I want a wall around my country. I want to know who comes in. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. There's terrorism. You ever heard of 9/11? Oh, no, let's just let them come in. Mental. How do we get this episode out there? I mean, seriously, what is going on out there, people? Hodge twins. I want to get on the air with the Hodge twins. I'm so sick of what's going on out there. And I need more people to just kind of step up and be like, yeah, hello, most of this is common sense. It feels very much like 16 when I'm seeing right up to Election Day how Donald Trump's going to get pummeled by Hillary. Remember this? Oh, Trump's going to lose 92% to say. He should just bow out now. What is this guy doing? He's terrible. He's terrible. You see, he's going to lose so badly. Hillary Clinton's going to stop at his house afterwards, and she's going to drop a deuce on top of his... Yeah, she's just going to stop over and be like, ha ha. Do you remember that lady in the streets? No! No! No, not my president! I told you guys this months ago, and I'll say it again every single day for the rest of my life. If Sleep Sofa Joe Biden gets in office on November 3rd and he becomes our president January 21st, whatever it is, when he has his first day in office and can't even say the words, when he's being... Oh, hey, we just need you to say this, Joe. We just need you to... Oh, yeah, I got no problem. Joe, do you want to be president or not? I don't know. Where am I? It's going to happen, people. It's going to happen. Sleep Sofa Joe. If Sleep Sofa Joe is the president in January, guess what? That's my sleep sofa. I'm not going to lose my friend. Because we don't do that. Whoever's the president deserves to be president because they were voted in, and you hope they do well. Not this country. Nope. They hope that this president fails. Have you ever freaking seen this in the history of time? Someone accomplished so much when every single person on their side just wants them to fail miserably the entire time. Are you American? I don't think so. A lot of communists, from what I can see. Socialism masked. It's not. Did you guys see the speech the other day? This brilliant speech. Man speaking about how his father came from Spain when Spain was a communist nation. And someone said, Spain wasn't communist. Yes, it was. So was Portugal. They were communist. And he flees Spain with his family, and he goes to Cuba, this amazing country. And all of a sudden, there's this young guy, Castro. And he starts coming in speaking about socialism. That's right, guys. Castro campaigned on socialism, not on communism. It's the pathway. This man was brilliant. He said, we are already the most socialist country in the world. Just that one statement alone made me realize how ridiculous everything else is. It's so true. We open our arms to everybody. We help everybody. Oh, you need a hand? Oh, here you go. Oh, you had another kid and you don't have a father? Here you go. We're not the most socialist country in the world as it is. You want to go more? You want to get rid of our rights? You want to get rid of liberty? They want to tear down our Constitution. They want to rip it apart and rewrite it in their own liberal way. Excuse me. Wake up, people. The mask is coming off. It's not just me, everybody. We got to start speaking about what's going on. Because there's no way out of this unless we start speaking about it. And yeah, we're getting censored for it. I had I think it was today. No, it was just today. I'm going to read something to you. I want you guys to hear these words. And look, it is what it is. I want you to understand what I said back is exactly how I feel about this. Listen to this. I hope Rob doesn't mind I say this. Let's see. He says, he said, I am amazed at the censorship of your media. He said, even your short clips don't show that much. He's like, it's unbelievable. I'm thinking you're getting more views than they're showing. He said, I wonder about doing a shadow banning audience participation test, asking live viewers to comment, and then by liking a tweet, this got a little cut up, so maybe hopefully Rob will come on here. He said, and then have commenters call in exposing the shadow banning people. He's basically saying that, and we've been talking about this for a little while, because most of the stuff I produce on this show is a Donald Trump impression. Even though it's comedy, I'm being censored because of it, because it's influential. Anything that has Trump's name on it at all, they censor. But what do you mean by that? Well, instead of pushing it out to the entire audience I have, they don't. I have a lot of my friends and followers who say, oh, I didn't get the notification today. And not only that, they know now to come at 10:30 every night. Thank God. because there is no organic growth for the Real Talk program. I know there's not for many programs in general, but when you're live for 560 days in a row and you're providing good content, powerful, positive content, and it doesn't have an opportunity to breathe, there's only one reason. It's because they are afraid. They're afraid of what we're going to do here. And let me tell you what I think about that. I'm so freaking pumped. I cannot wait to show up tomorrow. I cannot wait to show up the next day and just be with you guys, because you guys are the ones who are spreading the word here. And it's not about them. They think they're going to beat me. They think they're going to beat all people like me. Look, eventually he's just going to give up when he realizes he's not getting the audience. Just keep doing it. Just keep shutting down his channel. Just keep the audience low. Don't spread it out there. Oh, that good Dr. Evil clip, suppress it. Anything that says Donald Trump, suppress it. Guess how I feel about that? I don't care. I don't care. It's here now. It's here. It's on YouTube. Whether you watched it live or you see it in 10 years or 30 years when I'm not here anymore, 50 years when I'm not here anymore, it's there forever. Okay? So my message is clear. And I said that back to Rob. I said, look, just so you know, I said, I like your idea about exposing the shadow ban. Let's talk about it later if you can come onto the show. And what did I say back? Something else. I said, I just looked in my studio settings for episode 10, which was so good. The Don Lemon episode where I pulled apart his 2 clips and did Trump commentary in between. The best thing ever. So controversial. Should have millions of views right now because of how... we're going to go through it tonight. And I said, look, I just see here it says that there's 20 views. If you look at it, when you click on it, it says 20 views. But on the back end, it says 63 views. So it's not promote or updating live. And that's something that we've been known about too. If they're trying to shut something down, you won't see any of the views change. But I said, in general, I don't really care. I said, let's prove no matter how much they try to discourage someone or divert audiences away, we will never stop. And we will still prevail. Nothing's stopping this train, brother. And that's the way I feel about it. I don't care. I hope that Denise shows up tomorrow. Gangsta Cat shows up tomorrow. I hope that Dag shows up tomorrow. Jacob shows up tomorrow. And my people show up tomorrow. If you want to be one of the people, say hello. It's that simple. I'm here every day forever. One day, if it's not today, one day you're going to send a message. Be like, I don't know why I didn't send a message 2 years ago. I was watching, but I didn't feel like I was a little nervous. Say hello. I'm here. I'm going to be here tomorrow in a year and next year. God willing. If I could just stay healthy, I'll be here. Time's got to be a little adjusted, though. I can't do this time every night. I can't. I got to go on at 5. Tomorrow I'm going to try to do 5, 6 o'clock. So you keep that in mind, okay? I'm going to play you guys a quick tune, and then we're going to get over to the face swaps. I just did 23 minutes of ranting about the craziness of this world. Someone should clip that and drop it. Like it's out there, but we're about to do 3 hours here. But that 23 minutes, I have to make a mental note. I'm going to pull that up, pull it apart. It should be dropped in clips, 1-minute clips for like 2 days, just or whatever. Put it on just somewhere. We have to get that out there. I don't know what I said, but the show's about letting the moment happen, and I think I did that there. So let's keep doing our work. Let's try to promote positivity and get away from that negativity that I had to just yell at right there. Man, I feel better. I feel better. Oh. It's a great thing. I gotta say, it's a great thing when you just can express yourself and feel better afterwards. Yeah. Must be a sucker for it. Cry, but I'm in my later, yes, good way you get found out. Save it for later, while you let me down, let me down. The seven seas running. What would you do? Don't know I'm meant to act with you, love. Sometimes I don't try. Like no 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 no. Sooner or later, you lose your way to the ground. Save it for later, run away and let me down. Sooner or later, your legs give way, you get found out. Save it for later, you let me down, you let me down, let me down. You let me down, down, down. She dreams in color, she dreams in red. Can't find a better man. She dreams in color, dreams in red, yeah, yeah. Can't find a better man. 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 Dreams in color, she dreams in red. Can't find a better man. 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 Sooner or later, you let's get away with the ground. Sooner or later, run away and let me down. Sooner or later, let's go away and get found out, yeah, yeah. Keep on a better man. Keep on a better man. Keep on a better man. Save it for later. My man Dagger's on. I'm loving it. Dagger, you may have missed the greatest Real Talk speech of all time. What's crazy about this, I didn't push record. It's so funny. I was like, you know what? I may push record tonight and see if I could use this for a podcast episode, because lately I've just been streaming. I haven't been recording. You know why? I've been rocking out at 8,000 kilowatts, 8,000 kilowatts, people. And it winds up being like 13 gigabytes at the end of a 4-hour show. So I'm always like, I don't really need the footage. We just have it there. It's live on YouTube. But if I want to make this a podcast, which I should, that first part, I may just have to record the whole thing over again, which would be kind of crazy. That part, though, should be clipped out for sure. This is going to be pretty controversial. God almighty. It's the problem when you like have no filter. When you have no filter and you just let it out, Yeah. Things are about to fly out of the mouth. Maybe it wouldn't have been so crazy if I did just like Christopher Walken or something. Guys, you can't vote for sleep sofa, Joe. You can't. You're gonna fall asleep on the sleep sofa. I don't want to see you voting for a man who calls himself Joe Biden. He says, look, I'm Joe Biden's husband, Joe Biden. It's crazy. All right, let me get over to, I got to get onto the YouTube page for you guys. Hold on. I'm not even able to see my people right now. I'm able to see a little bit on the right over here, but I want to get onto the tube. Let me get onto the YouTube page. Guys! All right, here we go. We're live right now. Let me shut off the volume. Oh, there we go, people. That's fantastic. Guys, remember to like it while you're here and share if you can. It's always a cool thing if you could share it. Dr. Evil likes it a lot when you share the content. Of course, if you can't, I totally get it, but I'll shoot a laser through your window. Just letting you know. Number 2, can you send a laser, please? Thank you. Dr. Evil, I have that laser ready for you. Thank you, number 2. Hold off for one moment. It looks like Bulldog is going to... He's going to share. Don't send the laser. Not now. Oh, Dagger heard it, and I'm loving that. Yeah, that was probably one of the best. That was one of the best real talk rants about politics I've ever had, for sure. And it's the fact. I could tell you one thing about this show, guys. If I say it, it's the moment. It's real. I can't. I don't know what else to tell you. I want to show you guys something that blew my mind yesterday when I had Mary Ann on. This is unbelievably sickening. But check this out real quick. We're going to talk about this.
So we're going to go to trending here. Wayfair, 176,000 people talking about it. What are they talking about? They're talking about this. Before we go there, here's a history for Wayfair from last year. They had an issue where employees planned Wednesday walkout after learning they are making beds for migrant detention centers. We know where most of the kids who get trafficked are found. They're found in the detention centers.
Trafficked
so that is
kids.
a red
Watch
flag
this.
right there, a bloody glove, whatever you want to call it. Darian found this. See that cabinet? Keep a note of that. Samaya cabinet. $13,000 for that cabinet. What these people do, I'll tell you in a second.
Crazy cabinet right there.
Samaya
Sorry about the swearing,
is a
by
girl
the
that
way.
actually went missing not too long ago, just months ago, and in Ohio. What they do is when they're selling these children on these sites, they hide it, and they make astronomical prices for cheap goods, and they change the names exactly like you're seeing here. Same cabinet, different name, different price. How's that possible? Yuritsa's storage cabinet. Yuritsa is also someone, as she dug, 16-year-old girl who went missing on June 10th, 2020. This could be coincidence, but it seems a little odd. Annabelle Wilson went missing May 13th, 2020. She's 14 years old. And we have a cabinet here called Annabelle 5, $10,899 for what appears to be a shitty cabinet. Same cabinet as the first two. Kyla, different name, different price. And when we dig here, Kyla went missing January 25th, 2020 in Ohio, which was the same as the first one.
Spelled the same, too.
To Explore, we did that. We'll go to Wayfair. We got about a minute left. So if we go to Wayfair here,
guys,
you can see on Wayfair's website.
K-Y-L-A.
I've been squatting on this page for 2.5 hours trying to catch the price changes, and I just caught it. So I'm not refreshing or doing anything with this. First, pillow. Forget cabinets, a fucking pillow for $10,000. Really?
Sorry about that.
And guess who it's by? Ellen DeGeneres, none other. So we go here.
That's
Ellen's price is still the same. She's holding strong at $10,000. This is probably still a kid. Now we go to the other ones, though. We're going to watch these prices drop right before our eyes. $10,000. Twitter went nuts. They started trending. Now the pillow's $47. This is what Anons do. And if you go to the next one here, $10,000. Now this one's $46.99. Go to the next one here, the Gianna pillow. This one's $10,000. Price dropped to $46.99. This is basically all dropping because people are exposing them. All
right, so guys, the bottom line is this. What you didn't hear there is the further research shows there were SKU numbers that you could find. And with these SKU numbers, they lined up exactly with the children that were stolen, missing, kidnapped. There's a number for each of these. They're cataloged in a system. So Kyla, K-Y-L-A-H, which I've never seen Kyla that way before. I've seen it many other ways, but not with an H at the end. But that Kyla, for example, had a SKU code in the system. So they said, oh, well, we found Kyla. Oh, she's X87431. Okay? X87431 is Kyla. Let's see if I remember that number in 3 minutes. X87431. That's Kyla. All right. And on Wayfair, it said X87431. Yeah, I still remember the number. Don't fresh me out. That's so funny. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a little crazy thing. I like to make up a lot of stuff. You know that. Poison and President Gilles. You know, stuff like this always pops into my head. And for some reason, one day I was like, my kids did something that just pissed me off. Not really, but I just was like, and there's an old saying, don't get fresh. Everybody says that. My parents, everybody's parents used to say, don't get fresh. I got a new one I want to start hearing out in the streets, okay? And this is what I'd say to my kids. And now they say it back jokingly. It's like funny to us. I'll be like, don't fresh me out. It doesn't even make sense. Don't fresh me out. And so like my kids will do something that just is like not right. I'll be like, don't fresh me out. And I just start laughing and that diffuses the situation. And I realize sometimes it's not about yelling. It's about diffusing the situation just by, sometimes it's comedy or whatever. But the don't fresh me out turned into that Beatles tune. Don't let me down. Don't fresh me out. And I'd be like singing it, walking around the house. I got the kids. My wife, I'll just hear them randomly be like, don't fresh me out. Oh. I said, don't fresh me out. It's like, what does don't fresh me out mean? I don't know, but it's hilarious. Oh my goodness. This is what the show's about. This is what we should do. This is what we should do. Well, do what? This. I'm dying, Jerry. It's a show about nothing. It's literally, Real Talk is a show about nothing. We push the record button or stream button, and we let the magic of the moment take us somewhere. And again, it's not winging it. People that wing it are very uncomfortable when they're doing something. That's what I'm meant to do. Now, would a 1 hour polished show be a better thing than a 5 hour Real Talk? I don't think so, but I could do it. I just don't like that idea. This needs to be tuned. I gotta get some new strings for this thing. I told you guys for the last 90 days. It's killing me. That D's off. Come on, dude. You know when you get to the point where you're like, they're so stale. Like that E sounds like crap. Dag said, do people mistake you for Jason Bateman? That's funny. It's something I've never heard. That's hilarious. I do have a friend that looks dead on Jason Bateman. Dead on. Elixirs are so much better. Dagger's right. If you... I missed that part, Dagger. I think that came in a little weird. So what do you guys want to hear? I think we should write something about that rant that we just had. That's what I think we should do. Let's write a song in real time. What do you think? This is the Real Talk program. That's what we do. land before it. Gotta find something better than that, guys. A little bit different. Crazy afternoon, started the show, sharing that this is a crazy time for real estate. Oh yeah, the coronavirus going down. 60 days in a row, we're going on a real talk show. Go ahead and feel the moment course through your veins, and I'm making these strong moments here up every night. Can you feel it? Can you feel the darkness coming over you? All I feel is the fake news is consuming me, and I can't stop myself. I can't stop myself. I gotta scream out and say, I can smell the hypocrisy. So stand up and take a stand. Oh, stand up and show the man that you won't go quietly into the night. So I started a rant not too long ago, 'cause I can't stand the way everyone's being. First of all, if we all just kept our eyes on the road, be in a better place than we've ever been before. I see is a villain, a villainous race of people at each other's throats. Where's the love? Where's the love? Where's the love? Oh, where's the love? 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 I love that. I got the real estate blues. Kelly get with the real estate blues. We got to do a Trump song. I mean, why haven't I not done a Trump song yet? It'd be like, what would Trump's song sound like? It would be like, Trump's song would be like, he'd have like a staccato thing going. He'd be like, I'm Donald Trump. I'm running for president again. That's right, 2020. And then 2024 is going to be Don Jr. And then it's going to be Ivanka. He'd have something like that, like a staccato thing going on. So I'm going to play you guys one more thing. Actually, you know what I think we should do? Let's get a face swap in. I want to start showing you some of these bits, okay? I gave you the whole rant about this. And we might as well get into it because...
So we're going to go to trending
hold on,
here.
We saw this already.
Wayfair, 176,000 people talking about it. What are they talking about? They're talking about this. Before we go there, here's a history for Wayfair from last year. They had...
I am really weirded out by that. And then my question would be, how many other sites are doing the same thing? Now, I've got another bit of sleuthing for people to do, okay? I want people out there who has solar power. Somebody tell me who has sun. Anybody have sun solar? And if you don't, and you know someone that does, have them reach out to me. I got a bit of investigative journalism to do, okay? I found out the craziest thing, okay? And I'm just going to lay it out, and then I want to hear your perspective on this. It's coming from the positivity guy, okay? I noticed that every single morning at 4:10, right on the dot, 4:10, there's a burst of electricity that shoots through my house at 8.3 kilowatts. Right around. Sometimes it's even more, sometimes a little less. But there is a jolt or there's something. There's to me, I saw it as a power surge, okay? And I'm like, well, everyone's asleep. The only thing that possibly could be on is air conditioning if it's a hot night, but all the lights are off. There's no double ovens on. Why do I have a surge at 4:10 in the morning? I just got solar. So I just have the ability for the first time to look at my data. And on there, you could see graphs. I should actually show you one of these things so you could see it. And on these things, there's graphs, 2 graphs. One of them is energy and the other one's usage, okay? So I'm looking at the energy one. That's the one that normally populates. And as I look at it, I see... No, that's the right way. I see, as I look at it... Hold on, I just saw a message come through. Give me 1 second here. As I'm looking at this thing, that just totally threw me off my path here. So every single day at this 4 whatever, you see this huge blip. And then you see our normal usage during the day, but this one blip every day. So I called the dude. I'm like, what's the story here? Something looks like we're having a power surge. So this is what bothered me. This is what I hear back. No, don't look at that graph. That's nothing. Look at the other one. Look at the other one, okay? And I'm like, I don't need to look at the other one. The other one, yeah, it shows that it's sort of still being used, but it doesn't show that spike because the other one shows you the full hour. This thing shows you if you have spikes throughout your graph. It just shows you the entirety, Hey, Frank, how are you? So head over to YouTube, buddy. That's where we all are. And just type in Mark Pyre's Real Talk and join the show over there, bud. This is on through Restream on, let's see, I'm on Periscope, VK, DLive, Vaughn Live, Smashcast, Twitch, Facebook, LinkedIn, not working LinkedIn, YouTube, on Facebook again. So any channel you're on, head over to YouTube, join my people, and let's start building the audience over there, my friends. So here's what I'm thinking, Dagger. Here is what I'm thinking. They don't tell you what you use. They don't tell you what your consumption is. So this is what my first thought was. If nobody knows what they actually pay for, and they decided to shoot a burst through everybody's electric system at 4:10 in the morning as a way to show that you're panels working, that your breaker, whatever it is, that you're actually using 8 kilowatts of power, you're paying for 8 more kilowatts of power per day, per month, that you don't know about. Now, my theory would be that every person in the country, or at least in UI in my part of the country, is having the same exact thing happen at 4:10 in the morning. So I wanted to find other people who have solar to see, because they have the same app. They can look on their app and see if they have the same glitch. I called it a solar, like a surge. This guy's telling me, no, that's a glitch. That's nothing. That's just an algorithm. That's just a random glitch. No, it's not. 8 kilowatts is not a lot. I use 50 a day, okay? So I use 50 in total. I'm looking at this average now. I'm using 50 a day at my house. So if 8 of those kilowatts per day are not being used by me, that's a lot. That's a lot. And I just want to get to the bottom of it. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, no, it's kilowatts. And now Dagger's saying rounding thing. No, so I think what's going on is this. This is what my new theory is. My new theory is that every single day at 4:10 in the morning, those solar panels recharge. I think you have to use the electric company's power to start the solar power, to start the system, so it draws power in, and that costs something, okay? And if that's the case, that is also something that they should be telling you about when you sign up for the service. By the way, every day when our system starts up, you're going to see an 8 kilowatt draw from that. And we figured that into our calculations, but they don't do that. They tell you this is how much you use on an average currently. And this is what we're going to give you as what we figure for a yearly average that you'll use. Well, 8 kilowatts per day that we didn't figure times 365. Someone could do the math with me on that one. Yeah, it may be. Yeah, Denise said, I'm thinking just like someone can access and steal your data, energy is being harvested somehow. Well, yeah, I think what's going on is what I was pitched on when I did the solar is that whatever you don't use goes back into the grid and they pay you for it. So the power company will send us a check at the end in March or something like that. I'm like, sounds good to me. But if you are using power that you're not using, because you're generating their solar cells, you should just know that at least, because then here's the thing that bothered me most, okay? I'm telling the guy, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but I have a graph that's right next to that graph that shows every single day at 4:10 in the morning, there's this huge spike. And you're telling me, no, look at the other graph because it shows you that everything else is normal. Here's my third theory. Even if it's a momentary spike, a split second in an hour, of 8.3 kilowatts that I'm showing, it's just showing up every day, it's still affecting my average on that hour. So whether he says it's not or whatever, that bar would be lower if that 8.3 surge did not happen at all. And if he tells me it didn't, or if anybody tells me it didn't, then they're just straight up not thinking. It's common sense. If you see an 8.3 surge on a daily basis and you tell me, no, but on the hourly, it looks normal. Well, that 8.3 did something. It shouldn't happen at all, or else my number would be lower. I don't know what my number would be, but it would be lower if there was no surge. And he's trying to tell me, he's like, this is what bothered me most, okay? I'm in the customer service business for 13 years. Before that, I was a singer-songwriter. I answered to myself. As a realtor, it's the client first, whatever they need. I've been on the other end of so much abuse over the last 13 years. You just take it and you let people say and do what they want because you're trying to help them get what they need. And sometimes it's they're passionate in the moment, and sometimes they don't mean what they say, and sometimes they do, and you're just like, but it's a business, okay? But you never say these words to a client. I'm losing my patience with you. He said, I'm losing my patience with you. And I said, I can tell. And he said, and this is the thing, this is the other one. I love this line. Ready? In my 8 years, I've never had anybody ask me about this before. Nobody's ever brought this up before. I said, really? You've never had anybody see some? He's like, send me the graphs. I'm going to show you guys this because I want you to tell me if I'm crazy. I want you guys to tell me if you think, and I'm just going to show you one of each. Okay. I'll show you what both these graphs looked like. This is the one he wanted me to show. Here, I'll show you this one first. Let me upload this to to Dropbox so I can bring this up. I'm just going to call this sun. Okay, that's one. And then here's the one of the graph I see that on a daily basis is showing me that there's some crazy freaking surge. Ready? Look at this right here. And you tell me that you wouldn't say, hello. Ready? Hold on. Sun surge, we'll put. So this is what we got. Ready? This is what we do in real time, right? Okay. So let me show you what we got. Here's number one. Ready? Number one is okay. Here we go. All right, you guys ready for this? Okay, where are we? Come on. Sort by date. Again. All right, where the heck is it? I just saved them. Why aren't they here? Added to camera uploads. That's where I am. That's weird. Let's try this. Let me go in this way. All we gotta do is find the folders. Okay. Camera uploads. This is really weird. It's not here. That is the weirdest thing. It says that it uploaded. Where the heck is this? This is really weird, guys. Gangsta said Mark's being censored by the solar companies. Oh my goodness. Totally hilarious. All right, let me close this and reopen it and see if that does anything, because this is weird. Yeah, it's not showing anything. I don't know what to tell us, guys. Why would that not upload, or say it uploaded and then it didn't upload? Let me try it again. I don't know. That's really weird. That's so weird. Let's try this somewhere else. You know what? Hold on a second. I know why. I think it's still doing... No, it's not. What the freak? That is so weird. So if you see it here, how do I find it? Let me see. Open. Okay, now where the hell is it? Add to. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out where the hell to put this thing. How do I show you this? It's ridiculous that this isn't working. I see. I find it, but I don't see it in my... Oh, I know why. All files. There we go. All right, here we go. Ready? I don't know if that's why. Oh, that's why. This is not supposed to be... Let's just see what comes in when I put this on here. Where is it? Oh. Okay, it's like showing up and then it's disappearing. I know why. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Ready? Let's try that again. All right, so this is what I'm seeing right here. I'm going to open up the other one right next to it. Don't I have just a picture here somewhere I can do this with? All right, here we go. This is what I should have done the first time. All right, and this is what he wanted me to send him. Okay, so I think this should be the same day. It may not be, but it should be. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is the same day. Okay, so July 8th. Let's look at this right here. You guys with me on this? So right now we have this here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. You can't. Let's start with... Okay, let me just start with this. Ready? Let me get these in order. So you're looking at the screen right now. Let me try to figure out how the best way to explain this. Okay, we split up the screen. Let's do this. So let's look at these two screens here, okay? If you look at the one that is with the lower graphs. Don't look at the one with the peak right now. Okay, look at the regular side. During that side there, all the blue is my usage. That's when we actually use stuff. We use power and it's being drawn from the system. And the green is when I'm pulling solar into producing solar. You can see it on the bottom. Okay, so in between 12 and 8 a.m. is, you see that larger bar? Look at that larger bar. Let me see if you can see my hand here. You can't. It's the larger bar is right there, right down there. In between 8 and 12 a.m., there is a bar that is elevated higher than the rest, okay? When every single person in this house is asleep, okay? Now, move over to the other side here, and you see 8.3 kilowatts. And at 4 a.m., right there in the middle, right where you see this higher, you see that bump up right there. You see 8.3. So my point being, if you look at that, look over to the, forget about the blip again, look to the other side. And if you look between 8 and 12 a.m., you see right in the middle is that bigger building. Okay, let's call it a building. Look to the right and to the left of those buildings. That is where my usage should be at 4 a.m. is at one of those two spots, or it should be elevating. You see how it's elevating here, and then it gets eventually to much higher, but it should not be double what it is right before it. That 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock time frame right there, that should be the same exact level of my 4 o'clock. Now again, switch over to the other side. Every single one of these since June 30th looks exactly like this, where there's this beast of a blip. It's bigger than anything else I do the entire day. Look at that. It's bigger than anything else I do the entire day. And the guy says this, he's like basically telling me I'm crazy. Like, I'm losing my patience with you, Mark. I'm like, excuse me? You're losing your patience with me? How about this? How about I'm losing my patience with you? Don't send me two graphs that contradict themselves. In fact, they don't. Now that I look at them on a big screen, they further my thesis here, or my theory that we're being screwed somehow by either the solar company or UI. So there's two possibilities here, Dagger. Either the solar company is using 8 kilowatts of my system in order to start up every single day, and therefore probably also doing the same thing at the end of the day when it shuts off. I imagine there's also a surge when they shut off at some point. That's affecting my usage. I could see it as clear as day now. So this guy telling me that I'm crazy, essentially, like by saying I'm losing my patience with you. Don't send me two contradicting graphs. I mean, look, I don't have to be a mathematician to look at this and know there's something off here. Oh no, your usage is normal, he keeps telling me. What? My usage is normal? How do you freaking see that as my usage being normal? Nobody's awake at 4:10 in the morning, sir. Nobody's awake at 4:15 in the morning, sir. 8.3 every day? What are you guys doing? What are you doing over there? What nefarious activity is going on? First of all, like, why? Is that the company lying back to me? Oh, I'm losing my patience with you, sir. Like, just look at the other graph. Yeah, Denise says it's definitely not PC. I'll tell you. Can you turn off your solar off or bypass it to see what happens? That would be interesting. I'm not sure how I could do that. But I would say, it's definitely a weird thing when you recognize something that's going on. So I put something out on Nextdoor. This is Mary M's suggestion in order to figure out if there is anybody else dealing with this. If you have sun, solar, I want to hear from you. I want to hear, do you have the same blip right here every morning at 4:10 in the morning? And if you do, there's something the freak going on. Now, the crazy thing is, I looked at June 30th and I didn't see that blip. I used at June 29th. I didn't see that blip. So my theory is there's something else going on here. Someone's using 8.3 kilowatts in that moment, or they're shocking my system in order to charge me 8.3 kilowatts in that split second, which winds up being double what the hour usage rate was on the previous 3 o'clock hour on the screen that you see on the other side. So, again, Dagger, I got to share. Look, this show is a interactive show. Dagger said maybe it's Google or Facebook borrowing electricity to share with the BLM movement. Could be. But I would tell you this. There's a very good chance, since nobody knows what their usage is, that UI would just blast that through everybody's system, and once a month you're paying a bill that has 8 kilowatts every single day more than you thought it did. Or you're just paying for 8 kilowatts because you don't know what the hell you use anyway. They don't tell you. I think there should be a truth in electricity usage. I want to see that in the government. I want to see, why isn't anybody campaigning on any freaking platform? There's nothing anymore. It's like Trump or no Trump. Or, I mean, seriously, are you going to vote for Sleep Sofa Joe? What the freak is going on? I'm Sleep Sofa Joe. Look, my Aunt Judy told me I should have 7 different fabrics. You can get the Senator. It's the bed that never leaves. It stays there forever. It's hard and lumpy, but still will continue to stay there and do nothing. 1993 signs crime bill to put people in jail. Inner city people. He says, you got to keep them away from my family. Guys, let's get into it. What the hell am I doing here? We're going to start. Let's do this. It's 11:48 right now. It's an hour and 6 minutes in, and we're about to start the Donald Trump Show, episode 1 through 10. But I think this time what we should do is we should start with this is like basically the prequel. This is what gave me the idea for a Donald Trump show. Sure, it's like that movie Office Space where a fraction of a cent goes into someone's bank account. Exactly. Excuse me, I believe you took my stapler. Hello, it's my red stapler. I had it on the desk and then I think you took it. I look like I burned this place down. Peter, what's happening? Look, I'm gonna need you to fill out that TPS report. Not now, Lumberg. Even Lumberg banged her. Lumberg? Jeez, it's like I'm freaking watching the movie. Guys, it's crazy. I love that movie, by the way. I'm gonna burn the building down. Excuse me. Believe you have my stapler? It was a red Stadler #2 pencil. Oh my goodness. Lumber got her. Oh my goodness. Well, if you want to have 7 pieces of flair, then okay. But if you see Roger over there, he's got 37 pieces of flair. Okay, so okay. Okay, so do you want more flair? No, I'm going with these. Okay. That's Mike Judge, by the way. He was freaking phenomenal. All right, we're getting into it, guys. It's Donald Trump. This is the premiere. This is what gives me the idea to start a new show that I'm hoping to be once a week, maybe once a month, because I don't know. I haven't even started the new episode yet, essentially. Like, this is 10 episodes that create one episode of the Donald Trump Show. My new theory, or my new concept, would be a TV show once a week called the Donald Trump Show, and it's a 1 hour long show, and this is basically what you get. See if you like it. I hope you do. Hammerlin, Jamison, live from the studio. Donald J. Trump takes Joe Biden down a notch. Look, I've got to tell you, I'm completely in awe. It's like the Twilight Zone we're living in right now. Do you see the Sleep Sofa? I mean, everything he does, I'm just totally blown away by. Do you see this clip? Check this one out. This will blow your mind.
And by the way, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Exactly. I mean, Sleep Sofa Joe talking about his white hair on his legs is kind of weird, right? But no, people love him for it. And how about this one?
The rapidly rising I don't know.
I don't even understand how people could continue to support Joe Biden. He's halfway through the first sentence and he forgets what he's talking about. He's like, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just kind of sitting here. Look, we're going to be in trouble if you have Sleep Sofa Joe in as president. Let's check out this final clip.
Unnecessarily, now we have over 120 million dead from COVID.
Can you believe this? Can you believe Sleep Sofa Joe? 120 million? Really, Sleep Sofa? That's probably how many people would have died if Hillary Clinton had won, or if Sleep Sofa Joe was in charge of the country. It's 120,000, which is 120,000 too many. You could thank the G-hole. That's right, President G-hole. It's all his fault. And we're going to get him to pay. Big league. I'm going to send him a bill. And with it will be a huge stamp right across the center that says, you're a G-hole. So that's what gave me the idea. I'm like, okay, first of all, I haven't done one on G-hole yet. Oh my goodness. Okay, I just thought of the start. I just started the start of the second episode of the Donald Trump Show. It's President G-hole and taking the footage of these freaking fake news people talking about something with G-hole and tying it into a Trump bit. I'll figure it out, guys, but I got the concept. So anyway, here we go. This is when we keep moving forward. This is officially episode 1 of the Donald Trump Show. Here we go. Hammerlin Jamison introducing episode 1 of the Donald J. Trump Show. Look, I want to thank you for joining me on a brand new episode of the Donald Trump Show. That's right. We're going to be here every week delivering truth about the Biden campaign because no one's telling you what's really going on. I'm going to pull back the curtain and you're going to see what Joe Biden is really up to. Here we go.
We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts.
Will somebody please alert Mr. Biden that truth and facts are the same thing? I think he's been watching too much fake news on CNN. Okay, what else do we have from this blubbering train wreck?
My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other Biden. Give me a look, though, okay?
Now, first of all, who's the other Biden? Who is the other Biden? I'm wondering, because if it's Hunter Biden, he'll be in jail. But if there's another Biden, perhaps he can actually complete a sentence. That Biden I'd like to hear from. Okay, let's see what else we've got.
Trust.
Like his strange hold on Defense Secretary Ash Carter's wife, Stephanie.
Sleep Sofa Joe has been doing this for years. He's a creeper. And we're going to put a stop to him. I like the way your hair smells. Let me give you a little kiss here. And can you believe? Look at how he's touching that little girl. Honestly, I'm a little worried about that little girl. Sleep Sofa Joe has been doing all kinds of racist things for years. I'm just going to show you a few of the clips. Take a look at this one, for example.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
Look, I'm surprised you guys are fine with hearing Joe Biden say you need an Indian accent in order to go to Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, I've been to Dunkin' Donuts many times. I don't have an Indian accent. But let's continue on. I have a lot more to play for you. Now check out this clip, for example.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Racist Joe strikes again. Poor kids are just as talented and bright as white kids? What does that even mean? This is getting good, guys. What's next?
Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night.
Really, Joe? That's a good idea. We'll get the record player out. How about we go and actually light a fire and we do smoke signals? How about that? What do we have next from Sleep Sofa Joe?
Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
The question is, do you know the thing, Joe? Do you know the thing, Sleep Sofa Joe?
The thing, Joe, is that we are all created equal. That's right, God is the creator of all, not Satan and your adrenochrome. Okay, let's get one more at least. How about one more?
I'm not going to be a mule. I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom.
Did Sleep Sofa Joe just say he has to go do a poop-a-doop? I think he said it right in front of his crowd. I would never say that right in front of my crowd. If I'm going to take a poop-a-doop, I'm doing it on my own time, not in front of people. I don't know. It's a little weird there. Look, let's give him a chance to redeem himself. One more, okay?
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Wow. Really? Look, I'm not sure what else to say after watching that ridiculousness. But that's Sleep Sofa Joe. Are you going to vote for that guy? How about you? Look, if that's the case, this world's crazy.
That is Trump number 2, guys. Trump number 2. Is it Trump number 2 or Trump number 1? Now I'm trying to figure out what the heck one we just watched. That was Trump number 1, guys. You kidding me? Trump number 1! Woo! So this is when it gets really crazy, okay? This is why they literally mesh into each other. This is... Yesterday, Paul came on. He said his favorite one is episode number 2. You're about to see episode number 2. Paul's not on right now. Hope he gets on soon. Hope Sigger shows up soon. But here we go. Trump number 2.
It's Hammerlin Jamison introducing Donald Trump for episode 2 of The Trump Show. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me on episode 2 of The Donald Trump Show. We're going to continue digging deeper into Joe Biden, his mental state, and whether or not he falls asleep on camera. So let's get into it. Here's a couple of clips from earlier today. We're going to get into it now. Here we go.
Campaigning from home about Biden hiding in his cellar. Well, the truth of the matter is over 200 million people have watched me on television. And they've watched, and the more of that,
No, keep going, Joe. You're doing great. Doing fantastic, yes. No, we're really thrilled. I'm sure 200 million people really enjoyed watching the Sleep Sofa. Look, I could take a nap on my own sleep sofa. I don't need to watch you while I do it, unless they were trying to fall asleep quicker. Maybe instead of reading, they said, well, if I watch Biden, I could fall right to sleep. Okay, let's see what's next.
I've been down to Virginia. I've been around the country, but I do it responsibly and I don't hold rallies because it is the reason why we're in such trouble by not listening to the experts and the scientists about social distancing and wearing masks, which I never do when I walk outside of this house.
Wait, let me get this straight. So the scientists and doctors tell us to wear masks, but the moment you leave the house, you don't wear your mask? Sleep Sofa, I'm pulling a little fake news on you right now. Just check the real footage.
And wearing masks, which I never do when I walk outside of this house. I never fail to do.
See? And Trump will play it for you because I think you still look like an idiot. Okay, what else we got?
That's who we are. That's how my great-great-grandfather, four greats back got here. He got in a coffin ship on the Irish Sea, never knowing whether he was going to make it. And he made it to the United States of America in 1848 when the British were, anyway.
The British were coming. Look, it's like Paul Revere. No, finish it up, Joe. What were you saying when the British were coming? Is that your grandfather was part of the crew? Is your grandfather a redcoat? What are we talking about here? I'm trying to figure out what the hell Joe is talking about. My grandfather, and when the British, he said, and then he stopped himself. I think he was about to say when the British were coming. Anyway, look, as long as Joe continues to stay in his basement and he won't debate me, I'm going to have the Trump Show continue. So till tomorrow, have a good night.
I kind of get why that's his favorite, to be honest, especially he's going to fall asleep on camera. That was one of my favorite lines definitely. But there's great stuff in every single episode, guys. And just to show you, here's episode 3, titled Poisoned. It's Hammerlin Jamison, Donald J. Trump back with episode 3 of The Trump Show.
I want to thank you for joining me on episode 3 of the Donald J. Trump Show. Today, we talk about poison. That's right, don't drink the poison. It's going to kill many people more than coronavirus. Yeah, poison. That's right, Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, I'm sorry, some people don't know that we do call her poison. Let's take a look at this clip here. I want you to hear what she has to say.
You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear.
Let's be honest, Nancy, you know nothing about politics. Wrap-up smear? Really? That's what you've been doing to me? Sounds like something you got from your OBGYN. But whatever.
You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it.
I'm sorry, Nancy, can you say that one more time? What was that?
You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it.
Look, she's creating fake news. She told the reporters, you create a story. Let's get back to this clip.
And then you write it.
Can you freaking believe this?
Unless they see it's reported in the press that this, and this, so they have that validation that the press reported the smear.
You write the story after we report the falsehoods, and it becomes a validated story by the news, by you, the fake news garbage.
It's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report.
Also, when she says merchandising it, who is she, Mel Brooks from Spaceballs? Spaceballs the flamethrower. Yeah, okay, poison, whatever.
Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic. And it's self-evident.
You see there, she says it's self-evident because we've been doing it to Trump since he came down the escalator. Well, I have to tell you that I'm happy that I found out about this poison. Now I can put all of my efforts towards taking you down to Chinatown. That's right, we will drain poison and Schumer from the swamp.
So after we hit poison with that bit, we had to go back to Sleep Sofa Joe. I got to keep reminding you how much of a bumbling Biden he is. It's Hammerlin Jamison back with episode 4 of the Donald Trump Show.
Thank you very much for joining me for episode 4 of the Donald Trump Show. Tonight we get back into Sleep Sofa Joe. Look, we've got a lot of clips to get through, so let's get started.
I'm coming directly to you for ask a quick favor.
I can't believe they use this as their pitch on YouTube. I mean, I've come for you to... It sounds like something out of Close Encounters of a Third Kind. Sleep Sofa, are you from a different planet? I'm trying to figure out what the hell it is that comes out of your mouth. Sounds like gobbledygook.
I can hardly wait to debate him on stage. I want people to see me standing next to him and him standing next to me. We'll see who's sleepy.
Mr. Vice President, thank you. Thanks for your time. Please come back in less than 13 years, sir.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
Chris. I just did Chris. No, I just did Chuck. I tell you what, man, these are back-to-back. Anyway.
Sleepy, hello? It's not Chuck, okay? But you have a problem with back-to-back meetings? How do you think you're going to do back-to-back-to-back-to-back-to-back when you're president? Look, he's going to have to take a poop-a-doop in between, remember?
Why doesn't he just act like a president? That's a stupid way to say it.
You know, Donald Trump was asked on...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, probably best I don't.
You know, I feel kind of bad for Sleep Sofa. I mean, he looks like he's going to cry. He's like an old puppy dog whining for a bowl of milk. Look, Sleep Sofa, I'm sorry. You know, you have to act confidently if you're going to be president of the United States.
I tell you what, I'm so darn proud. And those poor people who have lost, anyway.
This is your brain on drugs. That's right. Any questions?
I would see to it for immediately moving toward, we're in fact in a position now that if in fact we dealt with mitigation across the board, just what we did in the last administration and before, leading to a standard that we provide efficiency for appliances.
Have you ever seen that scene in Scanners? It kind of reminds me, I wonder if they're going to do, you know how they keep doing, we're doing Jaws over. You think they'll do Scanners over and maybe have Sleep Sofa Joe in his, one of the lead characters? I would watch that, even though he makes me want to fall asleep.
I'm ready on day one after more than 3 years in office. Why isn't Donald Trump ready? Mr. President, wake up.
Can you believe that? Did he really just say for me to wake up? Is this Pinocchio and Geppetto is in the background pulling strings? Because it doesn't even look like he's alive. I feel so bad for this guy. I'm going to demolish him when we get into a debate. I mean, honestly, he doesn't even know who the hell he is. And you guys are going to vote for this guy? He's up by how many points? I mean, what the? He can't even speak, people. He said he's going to beat himself. Did you see that one? This is Sleep Sofa Joe saying how he's going to beat himself.
I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
Well, let's hear that one more time. Joe, can you do that one more time for us?
I'm going to beat Joe Biden. Joe Biden. I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
Look, I think that's a good place for us to call it a day. He's going to beat himself. I guess I should just hang back and maybe let him fall on the sword. He may walk outside to get the mail and forget to put his pantalones on. Could be a problem. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow on the next Trump show. That's right. Have a good night.
Oh my goodness. Pinocchio. Oh. Yeah. Johnny boy, John just said so tired of 2020. This must be a year for all just to forget. You know, it's interesting. We're starting what I thought would be the roaring 20s where we would just be rocking and rolling. And what's interesting is real estate for me is picking up, which is great. But the rest of the world is this frightening place. You know, I've seen so many horror stories in the last couple of days. There was a guy, 2 70-year-old plus men in New York City on a subway were stabbed this morning by a black man. Did you guys see that? Anybody see that? No, probably not. Why isn't anybody reporting that? Guess how it read. A stranger, 2 men in their 70s were stabbed by a stranger on a subway. And when the stranger approached them and said, "Why aren't you with your kids?" And he started slashing at them. Now, if that man was white and he was stabbing 2 black men, how would it have written? How would you have read that story? Completely different. But because it was 2 white men stabbed by a black man, no mention of him being a black man stabbing 2 white men. It was completely a stranger stabbed 2 men. It's the first time you don't see race involved at all. That's the thing. You won't hear about race when it's a black man doing something to a white person. You won't hear about it that way. It doesn't fit the narrative. In fact, it makes the narrative look really bad. Yeah, John, I would have been very happy. Oh, no. Yeah, and I wouldn't have been happy about the short sale part for you, but definitely would have been very happy to help you purchase a $1.2 million deal. Purchase $1.2 million house. Just reminds me, actually, on Tuesday I have a closing. Very excited about this closing because it's in that range right there, my friend. The bottom line is this. I'm in a business where I don't do 50, 100 deals a year. think about this. I want to share a crazy stat with you. 2008, exactly. Everybody that bought in 2008 they had a hard time until right now. If you live in my area, if you live in the Northeast right now, this is the time for you to get out even. Give me a call. Bottom line, people. The bottom line is that the market is on fire right now. It is on fire. And you got to take advantage of it. You got to sell and then buy. If you want to get out and go up, or you want to get out and go down, there's an opportunity still. Not everybody's selling. But if you want to sell and you're smart, you can get out and make some serious money right now. It's a shift. It's a shift. And you have to remember that it's going to come and it's going to go. But I will tell you this. I worked 350, let's call it 355 days last year in real estate. I worked 365 here with you guys. But 355 days, I would say, in real estate. Do you know I traded, I think it was 18 deals last year? So that means I worked for 338 days for free. I worked for 338 days for free. I didn't make a paycheck. It's a weird thing when you're in a commissions business and you are spreading this thing around the entire year. And there are some people that do volume business. They're in an area where there's so much going on. They do 50, 100, 200 deals a year because it's a price point where people buy. And then you have places like where I live, where when you do a deal, the deal's like, between 600 and 1.2, 2.5, you're doing deals like there's deals, you know what I mean? And if you only trade 15 of them in a year and you're doing you got some are rentals too. So, I mean, you got deals within there, but as long as you're getting something going, that's the key. You have to be a high volume guy if you're not in an area like I'm in. It's very hard to be a high volume guy because people are a little more skittish. They're they're careful with their money. They don't just splash it around. I have some people that buy the first time they go out. Mostly, no. Some people, I had one client for 3.5 years. It was 3.5 years until they finally figured out what they wanted to purchase. So, okay, we got episode 4 in, right? You guys ready to see episode 5? Here we go.
It's Hammerlin Jamison live from Mount Rushmore. Donald Trump for episode 5 of The Trump Show. Thank you. Thank you for joining me here at the monuments. Look, this is a very exciting time. I started my own talk show this week. That's right, the Donald J. Trump Show. We're winning big league. We're dropping lots of content about Sleep Sofa Joe Biden. Lots about Sleep Sofa. We also did one episode about poison so far. And we're going to continue to drop positive content about Sleep Sofa Joe Biden. Because I will not let him beat me now. We have done too much work here in this country. Are you guys ready to stick a fork in Biden? Are you ready? Oh, watch this clip. Ready?
I'm Joe Biden's husband, Joe Biden.
I don't know what to say. I'm a little confused. What... Could you tell me, what does that mean, Joe? You're married? I'm Joe Biden's husband, Joe Biden. I don't know. So, are you going to be your own first lady? Or what does that mean, Joe? Could you please elaborate? I'm Melania Trump's husband, Donald Trump. I'm not really sure, so Joe's married to himself? Just going to give you the one for today. That's enough to squash the sleep sofa. Look, he's comfortable to lie on. Just not to vote for. We don't have to trash the man while we're here at the National Monument. He's just a sleep sofa. Look, if you can't catch the Donald Trump Show, make sure you tune in to Real Talk. You see, my kids, Melania, they all love Real Talk. Well, we give it to people straight on the Real Talk program, and it kind of gave me the concept for the Donald Trump show. So tune in. Every night I'll be on either my show or the Real Talk show. I'm going to drop content for you because the fake news is not letting the Trumper breathe. That's right. It's trying to shut down the Trump. Look at that beautiful monument. They're going to put my face right next to George Washington there. Perfect spot. They're going to have my tie. It's going to go all the way down to the ground. So Democrats will hit their faces on it every time they walk by.
That's one of my favorite lines. I want to quickly say to my buddy, Gangsta Cat, I hope you read my message here. I want to say, so Gangsta said, I'm just hearing you guys talking about big money deals while I'm still in school trying to become a carpenter. So here's my advice to anybody who's an entrepreneur, anybody who's a carpenter, anybody who's trying to get into a business, something like that as a builder, trying to make a way, trying to create an avenue for yourself to build a future. Ready? Life is progress. My advice would be to get to know realtors where you live. Ask them to recommend you to their clients. When you get a reputation as a trusted professional, you will break into the construction, the new high-end construction, new construction, renovation. And remember, this is my quote, time plus effort equals result. I have an S on there by accident, but time plus effort equals result. Sometimes privilege is involved, but there's no white before privilege. There's just privilege. I want to share something about that real quick before we get on to episode 6, I think it is. Where are we? Episode 6. There's no such thing as white privilege unless it's somebody who's white who's privileged. And if it's a black person, then there's black privilege with that person. If it's a Chinese person, then they have Chinese privilege. And it's not even that. It's just privilege. You guys want to label everything. The bottom line is this: Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, the civil rights movement. When my father moved here from Portugal, my father's got very dark complexion. He dealt with a lot of crap here when he moved to this country. And he thinks it's amazing how this, he always said too, to live in Portugal and have to use an outhouse, no electricity, and his candles at night and fire, and then to move here to the States, plumbing, and he's now then you have these buildings, like everything that he's seen in his lifetime. It's unbelievable. And at the end of the day, we could be in a very good position here in this country if people just realize where we actually are. I want to just remind you of a few things real quick, okay? In the 60s, we had the civil rights movement. And when I was born, I already had parents who were well progressed with their thinking. And they taught me to appreciate every soul and that we treat people by their actions. Okay, just listen to this, please. Treat people by their actions. And the way I live is I'm looking at the color of the light coming out of someone's heart. That's it. I don't care about their skin color at all. If the light coming out of their heart is pure light and gold and positive and warm, that's my best friend in the world. And they could have any skin color in the world, and that's my best friend in the world. And that should be the way you feel. And I think if the world wasn't the way it was, you would feel that way. Because when you look at children that don't see color and you see them playing perfectly together, loving each other, hugging each other, they're not thinking, oh, I'm hugging my white friend. Like, oh, there's Tommy. Start thinking more like, oh, there's Tommy, and stop, oh, there's my friend that's this color. Because this world doesn't need division. It needs healing, it needs love, and it needs people to realize what's going on. Start looking down that rabbit hole. Don't be afraid to go down. Don't be afraid to go in there. I'll go with you. I'll go down there with you. I want to see what's down there. I'm ready to go back down. Sean, my brother's on, guys. Listen, if you are not on the YouTube channel, John, please head over to YouTube. Join us over there. And I got this new guy. He's been watching our shows afterwards. I want to speak to him right now, just in case he listens to this later. Hold on. Let me just make sure I'm saying this correctly. Or Paul, I'm just going to talk to you real quick, Paul. If you happen to come on. Not the same Paul who's been on, our buddy Paul. I'll just say you, Paul Hollingsworth. Paul Hollingworth. I want to say something to you, buddy. I appreciate you. I'm hearing your messages. I'm sorry that you're having trouble with your site. And I wish that you were able to see and be able to actually chat with us, because he's saying he can't actually get on with us and chat. He's been watching the shows, listening to them afterwards, and he's been asking questions, which are, to me, Paul, it's hard to read some of them, because just like I have the same issue when I'm sending messages, I push the wrong buttons. I think maybe because you have an issue with your site, you're not sure sometimes what you're typing. I'm imagining, because some of the words I'm not fully getting. But I would say that I really appreciate that you are inputting on the show, and I see some of it's religious. I don't intend to ever get religious here. I grew up as a very Christian Catholic kid, went to this thing Young Life. I went every week, and I realized Young Life is very much like Real Talk. What it was is positive words and then music. And typically you'd be singing together. So like if I was singing a song and Denise and Sean and Bulldag and John just happened to be home and decided to sing along with me. John, is that you? Did you head over to YouTube? Oh, you don't have YouTube. You're so funny. I'll tell you what, the best way to watch this show is to throw it on your TV and watch it through your speakers, because when we put the music on, especially this beat seat, like that thing pounds in a room. I used to joke upstairs when I used to play upstairs that the room would shake when I kicked the beat seat. All the windows, I have windows in that entire room. Down here, I'm just kicking it in a cement room, so it's perfect, you know. But let's get back to the show. We're getting into it now, guys. Right? I mean, seriously, moving on to episode 6. But I just want to say one more thing to my buddy Paul over here, who's been sending messages. Try to head on. I know you said you have a hard time. Join us while we're live. I'll speak to you, and you can say whatever back. And if it's illegible, I'll still try to get it and talk to you on the air. I'm here to interact with you, buddy. And I want you to know that I feel for you. You know, I believe we all have a touch of empathy or an empath sense to ourselves, where we can feel energy, we can feel what people are going through, and I don't know what you're going through, but I can feel that it's not right. It's not something that most of us deal with, and I can sense that it's frustrating because you want to be able to communicate, you want to be able to be involved, and I want you to know that you are a part of the show, and I just don't see enough love in this world, and I want you to know that there's love for you here. And that's it. All right, let's move forward. Next clip, episode 6.
It's Hammerlin Jamison, live from the studio. Donald J. Trump joins us from Washington, D.C. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me on episode 6 of the Donald Trump Show. That's right, I'm here in Washington. Sometimes people think it looks like the Epcot Center. No, the Pope is not back in that building. It's Donald Trump's home. In the process of fixing the dome. I think it's about time we get back to Sleep Sofa Joe. Sometimes we call him Bumbling Biden. I'm not sure what I feel like calling him today. Let's see what Bumbling Biden has to say. I just love them both. I just love Sleep Sofa Joe. He's a bumbling Biden sleeping on the sofa. So, let's see what we got today.
I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly. We're in a situation.
Every time I think to myself, well, there's no way it could get any worse, they show me another clip. This is Sleep Sofa Joe, bumbling Biden. Take a look, people.
Well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth. $1.4 trillion worth.
Well, which is it, Joe?
Out of $1.4 billion. It's hard to even say it, it's so much.
Really? Joe, you want me to get a calculator for you? Here, why don't you use this calculator, see what you come up with.
It costs a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years.
$740 million billion. Wow, Joe. That's a phenomenal amount of money. Do you want that in Monopoly dollars?
If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight.
Well, Joe, if it's a matter of dialing 30330 in order to help you fight the battle against Alzheimer's, I'm in. Okay, what else we got?
And they'd say to you, take my shotgun. I said, I have 3. I now have 5 because my son died and I have 3 of his. I have 5 shotguns.
Oh, so close, Joe. So close. 3 plus 3. So close. You did not form it as a question. It's also not 6.
I know I'm called middle class, Joe. It's not meant as a compliment. Means I'm not sophisticated.
I'm sorry, Sleep Sofa. I hadn't heard that one. Middle class Joe. I've heard Creepy Joe. I've heard Bumbling Biden. I've heard Sleep Sofa Joe. Sleepy Joe. I've heard about a terrible cup of Joe. It's more like out of gas Joe.
Out of gas Joe. I wanted to film that over just to say, make it a little clearer at the end there. I never did. Just so it could be like,
oh, it's more like out of gas, Joe.
Oh, so Rogan on every... Wait. So I have to figure out, listen, tomorrow... Here's the thing someone recommended to me the other day. So if you guys know any shows and you want to go on or you watch any other shows that take on guests... I had someone the other day send a note. They said, you should go on other shows that take podcast guests and go do impressions and be a guest on the show and have them know about the Real Talk show by going on and being a guest. And it's not a bad idea. I just don't know anybody. And like, for example, Sean was watching Rogan last night. Not that Rogan's going to go and check out the Real Talk show, but at some point I'm going to be on Rogan. Just so you know, I will be on Rogan doing Trump, and I'll be doing Christopher Walken, and I'll be doing every impression I do here because I'm sorry, they're insane. When I do Owen Wilson, I can't believe it. Sometimes I'm like, I can't believe I sound like Owen Wilson. I can't believe it, guys. Look, guys, check it out. How could you not be on the Rogan show? It's fantastic. He's going to say, wow, Mark. And then we're going to have a ball. And he's going to be like, now play us a song. Yeah, let's do that. I'll bring the beat seat in to sit down with Joe Rogan. My man. I love Joe Rogan. You know what? You guys should clip this out and send it to him. I literally was driving in the car listening to Rogan. I used to listen to Rogan every single day. And Joe, no offense, I love you, but I'm live for 5 hours every day, so I don't listen to anybody but myself now. I'm on the air creating face swaps for you guys, trying to provide light for this world. So I don't listen to anything in the world. I'm just creating my own light and delivering it. And it was because of you. I was in the car one day. And you said something. You said, look, if you have a voice, if you have something that you can add, there's more room out there. I'm not the only show. Go and start a podcast. This is what you said. I'm sure you remember it because I'm sure you've said it many times. But you said it. And I feel like you were speaking to me directly. I went home that night and I started a podcast. It's funny, but it's basically what I'm doing right now. I was telling you guys I want to find it and play it for you. I did 47 minutes of Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. Whatever it was about at the time. This is 2015. And I was like, I forget what that's where I came up with Putin in the work. And I was like, look, Vlad, I just want you to know I'm going to be president. And when I'm there, we have to have good relations. And he said, like, of course, Mr. President, look, I put in the work. We have a good relationship. It's good, okay? Have a good time. Yeah, we go. Have a cocktail, you know? And Trump was like, oh, okay, Vlad. And so basically it was like 47 minutes of stupidity. But it was my first, just like, and that wasn't live, guys. I was sitting here on my Pro Tools system, and I just went and did 47 minutes of some stupid freaking thing. It's basically what we do here every day now, where I just like improvises these characters, and it's just like, I have a new character in mind. I'm just letting you know in the next few days you're going to see a new character on the show. Right now we have 2 characters. We have Dick Facce, who's running for president as well against Donald Trump and against Sleep Sofa Joe Biden, who's a blubbering Biden sleeping on the sleep sofa. And the third character, of course, you guys know him well. It's the one and only Hammerlin Jamison. Look, we're dropping the hammer and ripping a little. Hold on. It's Hammerlin Jamison. And it's Hammer Time. That's right. Look, I'm here every single night on the Real Talk program to rip the lid off the fake news. That's right. It's Hammer Time. A little ham, jam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. That's right, people. Look, check me out every single night on Hammer Time. That's right. Jamison. Look, we're ripping the lid off of fake news every night. Right here on the Real Talk program, you can hear it. If he loses, Trump must resign immediately and make Biden. That's right, Sleep Sofa Joe Biden. Look, the guy doesn't even know what day of the week it is. He thinks it's 1974. I heard him the other day. He said, hey, I need you to go get me something from the store. Here's a nickel. There's a nickel. Thanks, Sleep Sofa. Look, I'm going to put that into the record player. Hammer Jammer. So that's our second. Hammerlin Jamison live from. That's our second character. So bottom line, guys, bottom line is we're not messing around anymore. Ooh, let's see. I got a couple of things that came through here. Let me just check it out. Oh, Sean said my mom loves Sleep Sofa Joe. She sure should. Listen, she shouldn't really like Sleep Sofa Joe, like as far as voting for Sleep Sofa Joe. She should like the nickname I came up with, Sleep Sofa Joe. Because the bottom line is he's a freaking sleep sofa. Just imagine. I want to paint a picture for you. You walk into the Oval Office. You're there I'm there on a little trip today to the Oval Office to go meet the president. I can't wait. You gotta look. They're like, oh, look, just come on into the room over here. And you see these sleep sofas? And they're like, oh yeah, which one? They're like, no, there's the president. No, he's a freaking sleep sofa. He's asleep. I'm gonna go over and take a nap on him. I'm doing a commercial. I'm just letting you know. We should start a GoFundMe for this so I can actually hire a crew and do this. Let me tell you what I want to do. And then if somebody wants to do that, let's chat. But listen to this. I want to shoot a video of me at like 1-800-Mattress. All right? And we're going to film me doing a commercial. Here's the commercial. Welcome to Sleep Sofa Joe's. Come on down. Check out the senator. And we're going to do a whole commercial about Sleep Sofa Joe. And when Joe Biden realizes he's never going to be president because he's a freaking sleep sofa, he decides to start a new mattress company called Sleep Sofa Joe's. Very much like 1-800-Mattress, or maybe even better, Bob's Discount Furniture. And at the end he goes, come on down with my Aunt Judy. Come on down to Sleep Sofa Joe's. And then we're going to have the crew do a real deep fake. Not talking about the one where I take a video of Joe Biden and I do like I do every day for you guys. I'm talking about a real deep fake where it's me doing the skit and then they take Joe Biden's freaking fat head that's got nothing left in it. Something rattling around there. I don't know. But they're going to take that head and they're going to superimpose it on my head. And he's going to be going like this. My Aunt Judy told me that I'm a sleep sofa. So I started a new mattress company called Sleep Sofa Joe's. Come on down. We got 7 different fabrics and sizes. Check out the Senator. Never leaving your house once it comes in. Lumpy and old. Real crap loader. But you should get one. And then there's the Presidente. I'm sorry, I fell asleep on you there. We got the most comfortable sleep sofas in the world. So maybe it's not a mattress company. It should be sleep sofas. Crazy Eddie's voice. We're doing it insane. We got VCRs. We've got... You guys remember Crazy Eddie? Oh my goodness. That was nuts. I grew up in New Jersey. Crazy Eddie was like all over when I was a kid. And I remember that they'd be like, we got VCRs on sale. We're insane. Prices are insane. Come on down. They'd always have like the Micro Machines guy at the end. They'd be like, all prices are subject by Menon. That's my favorite thing in the world, by the way. I keep wanting to buy Menon. I mean, seriously, thinking about it. Yeah, oh my goodness, John. John just nailed something I got to show you guys now. This is a side note, guys. This is a side note, okay? Don't get sidetracked by this, but this is a side note, okay? I'm going to show you something right now because of John just nailed it with something. Did you guys see this? Look what he said on the screen. I'm trying to vamp here so I can find this bit for you guys. Do you see what he said on the screen there? Take a look. Tell me if you see that over there. What does it say? The My Pillow guy. That's right. You said something about the My Pillow guy, right? Come on, where the hell is it? All right, I can't find it. I did the My Pillow guy, and now I can't find it. It's somewhere. That's too bad. I had it. I just don't know where the hell I put it, guys. Did I put it somewhere else, maybe? No, I don't put it anywhere else. I don't know what the hell it is. Let's see if I put it in the FaceSwap file. Maybe I put it over there. I doubt it. I see stocks. Facebook stocks. Did you know that Facebook stocks? That's too bad, guys. I did a My Pillow skit. It was pretty silly and funny. And I'm not going to go crazy looking for it. But one of these days, I'll find it, and then I'll play it for you. It was like, hey, come on down to Walmart, get a My Pillow. And I did it with like this, like, it was like Oriental music in the background. It was so freaking awesome. And I can't find it, unfortunately. I'm sure it's on the Dick Face page on, you know what, should we look for it should I play it for you guys real quick? I'm like kind of obsessed with finding it for you all of a sudden because you wanted to hear the My Pillow guy. Crazy Eddie was insane though. Sloppy Joe's hose, but use the pun to sell gardening equipment. Sloppy Joe's, I never see that. I never saw that. I have to find that. The My Pillow guy, or how about, do you remember this guy? Hey guys, get your ShamWow. You gotta check it out. The ShamWow picks up anything. You could just put blood on the ground and just sop it up with the ShamWow. It's shamtastic. Remember that dude? He had like his freaking head thing on. He's like, oh, check this out. I'm gonna pour this all over the ground right now. Look at that. Look, all I gotta do, shamtastic. I put that in the sham. ShamWow. Freaking unbelievable ShamWow. That guy was hilarious. There's always a good guy that like sells product, right? Look, this is the other thing. Like, I am willing to do and try anything at this point because of what we're doing on this show. Like, who knows anybody at one of those stupid freaking networks? Like, I want you to give me a product to go and do that to. Just get up there. Like, how funny would it be if, like, oh, why don't I have anything to show you here that I could... I don't know. I don't have anything to show you. I was just say, like, find something and say, like... I can't find anything. Look, we got the greatest, this is the greatest picture frame in the world. I put pictures in it. Unbelievable. You're not going to believe it. You could put the pictures inside. You could put it on your mantle and look at it at night. It'll make you feel great. And every time I walk by it, it makes me feel fantastic. And then you could change up the vibe of the guy. Be like, maybe he's not an Italian guy. Be like, look, I absolutely love it. I love when I was able to put it on the ceiling and look at it from an angle. Or he's more of a... Maybe he is someone like Scarface-ish, you know what I mean? He's like, sometimes I put my ma inside the picture, you know, because I don't have her in my life anymore, Mike. Okay, so I put this photo of her on the mantle. Okay, I light a fire, and I have a little tequila, and I say, "Hey, madre, I love you, Mike." And she know, Mike. She could tell we have feel the energy to the air, Mike. Okay. It's my favorite picture. How about we had, I don't know. What the hell, guys? Sell your drum. Yeah, I want to sell my freaking drum. We've been working on it. I was saying my wife killed it last month. 18. Oof, she's on fire. That was actually in like a week and a half. It's just like not even a month. I'm going to play something for you. Or you know what? Should we keep going? I don't think we're even like halfway through yet, guys. Are we at episode 6 yet? Did we get into episode 6 yet? I don't even know if we got that far. If we haven't, let's get to it.
That's Hammerlin Jamison live from the studio. Donald J. Trump joins us from Washington, D.C.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me on episode 6 of the Donald Trump Show. That's right, I'm here in Washington. Sometimes people think it looks like the Epcot Center. No, the Pope is not back in that building. It's Donald Trump's home. In the process of fixing the dome. I think it's about time we get back to Sleep Sofa Joe. Sometimes we call him Bumbling Biden. I'm not sure what I feel like calling him today. Let's see what Bumbling Biden has to say. I just love them both. I just love Sleep Sofa Joe. He's a bumbling Biden sleeping on the sofa. So, let's see what we've got today.
I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly. We're in a situation.
Every time I think to myself, well, there's no way it could get any worse, they show me another clip. This is Sleep Sofa Joe, bumbling Biden. Take a look, people.
Well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1,600,000,000,000 worth. $1,400,000,000,000 worth.
Well, which is it, Joe?
Out of $1,400,000,000. It's hard to even say it. It's so much.
Did we see this already? We saw this, right,
you want me
guys?
to get a calculator for you? Here, why don't you use this calculator, see what you come up with.
It's cost a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years.
740 billion. Wow, Joe. That's a phenomenal amount of money. Do you want that in Monopoly dollars?
If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330.
Yeah, we saw
and
this
help
already,
me
guys.
in this fight.
Well, Joe, if it's a matter of dialing 30330 in order...
All right, we saw that already. I'm not going to play it again. We got halfway through. But here's the official next episode that we should be on.
Hammerlin Jamison live from the studio. Donald Trump joins us for the 7th episode of the Donald Trump Show.
Thank you very much for joining me on episode 7 of the Donald Trump Show. We're going to get right into it today. I've got a lot more on Sleep Sofa Joe. That's right, we're calling him Bumbling Biden as well now. So let's get into it. What do we got? First clip of the show.
You gotta, we gotta reassure. Look, here, my message to everybody I talk to is we're gonna get through this.
Are you sure, Joe? It looks like you can't even get through a sentence.
We provide a Medicare option. That's exactly what Rap Rock and I talked about in the beginning.
I'm sorry, did he just call Barack Rap Rock? I didn't realize he had a pet name for Barack Obama. Hey, Rap Rock, let's get together and go and talk about that foreign policy. Hey, Rap Rock, you want to get together and play some basketball? Hey, Rap Rock, could you make me a PB&J? Absolutely hilarious.
I made a mistake. I said it 14 years ago. I trusted George Bush to keep his word. He said he was not going to go into Iraq.
This is when it gets really interesting. You ready?
Only way we're going to get rid of Saddam Hussein. And it's going to require guys like you in uniform to be back on foot in the desert taking taking Saddam down.
Wait, I'm sorry, but didn't you just say that you were against the war, Sleep Sofa? I think he's losing his memory again.
From the moment shock and awe started, from that moment, I was opposed to the effort and I was outspoken.
Let's take a look at Outspoken Joe. Yes, maybe we'll call him Outspoken Joe if it's good. Let's see.
Some of my own party have said that it was a mistake to go to Iraq in the first place. But the cost of not acting against Saddam, I think, would have been much greater. The President of the United States is a bold leader, and he is popular.
No, after that clip, that's it. We're going to call him Backtrack Biden. That's right. He backtracks. He said that he didn't support the war, that he's talking about George Bush like they're best friends. I'm not sure what's true with Sleep Sofa Joe.
When I marched in the civil rights movement, I marched with tens of thousands of others to change attitudes. And we changed attitudes.
When I was about the age of the guy standing over there, I got involved in the civil rights movement.
And now, the truth.
I was not an activist. I was not out marching. I was not down in Selma. I was not anywhere else.
Okay, so basically, Sleep Sofa Joe never did any actual protesting, although he's been campaigning on it for his entire career.
The first year in law school, I decided I didn't want to be in law school and ended up in the bottom 2/3 of my class, and then decided I wanted to stay, went back to law school, and in fact ended up in the top half of my class.
Look, I really want you to pay attention to the detail in this video right here.
I think I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect.
I'm pretty sure that your IQ is a moving number, Sleep Sofa.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship.
So let's get to the truth.
Senator Joseph Biden may have more explaining to do. The new questions stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
And in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I won the International Moot Court competition. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only need 123 credits, and I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
If I could say one thing.
Look, the facts are Sleep Sofa Joe was a terrible student.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class.
He didn't?
That he does not have 3 degrees from college.
He doesn't?
And that he was not named Outstanding Political Science Student in college.
Really?
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't stop laughing. Back then, I guess they didn't fact check you in real time. That must have been a couple weeks later. So funny.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
Sleep Sofa Joe makes up things. Bumbling Biden. Did you hear him bumble there? He's a bumbler. Bumbling Biden strikes again.
That's what you get. Bumbling Biden. I'm going to keep this moving along. This is episode 8.
Live in the studio, it's Hammerlin Jamison. We're back with another episode of The Donald Trump Show.
Thank you very much for joining me for episode 8 of The Donald Trump Show. That's right, we're cooking along here. Today we're here to talk about Joe Sleep Sofa, bumbling Biden. We've been kind of going through his exploits over the years. What has he done? Has he done anything at all? You know, one of the problems we have today is overpopulated prisons. That's right. And it all started with Joe Biden. I'm going to show you how we are where we are right now. Let's roll the tape.
It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth.
Look, he's talking about inner cities, black communities, minorities. And they all vote for him still. I don't get it. He doesn't want you to advance. He wants you to stay down, so you need the sleep sofa. You don't need a nap on the sleep sofa.
It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society.
I'm starting to see a little of the bumbling Biden taking place. This is all the way back in like the 90s.
It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society.
Wait, bumbling sleep sofa. I thought that being the victim was your platform. Now all of a sudden it doesn't matter if they're the victims of society.
The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe.
Ouch.
Shoot my sister.
Look out.
Beat up my wife.
Let's be honest, Sleep Sofa. That one's you when you open up the bottle of Irish whiskey. Seems a bit odd that all of Joe's family's being attacked in the streets.
They must be taken off the street.
The whole point of the bill was to keep people down, so they feel like they always need help. They don't teach people how to fish, they give them the fish.
Tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision,
When was this filmed? Yesterday?
Without any structure, without any conscience developing.
Definitely filmed in the last couple of weeks. And he's talking about Antifa, right?
They literally have not been socialized.
Isn't he talking about Antifa?
They literally have not had an opportunity.
So let me get this straight. Instead of providing opportunities, you just decided to lock everybody up.
We should focus on them now.
Classic. Really? Sleep Sofa Joe is talking about fixing the problems, never fixed the problems. He had 8 years in office, and it's been almost 30 years, and they've done nothing since then.
If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now.
Predators? Is that like a follow-up to the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
And Madam President, we have predators on our streets.
I wonder if that's where Chris Hansen got his start.
Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them.
It sounds like only Biden's life matters.
And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
Can't you see? Every 2 years, he panders for a vote, and he's the guy who put them all in jail.
But they are in jail. Away from my mother.
Sleep Sofa, do I detect an Oedipal complex?
Your husband. Our families.
Divide and conquer. It's the Democrat way. Sleep Sofa Joe Biden has been telling people one thing for years and doing the opposite. Just remember, and tune back in tomorrow on the next Donald Trump show. Have a good night.
All right, guys, we're almost there. Here's episode 9. This one is... These two coming up, I think, are two of my favorites. This is The Great Wall of Trump.
That's Hammerlin Jamison live from the studio. Donald Trump with episode 9 of the Donald Trump.
Thank you very much for joining me. Episode 9 of the Donald Trump Show. That's right. We're going to get into it today. I've got a lot to share with you. Border wall. Everybody's always saying, Trump, when are you going to build the border wall? We're building the wall. But they gave me such a hard time. Such a hard time.
The President of the United States, having failed to get Mexico to pay for his ineffective, unnecessary border wall.
We'll get back to Schumer and Pelosi after some other clips. I think you guys may like these others, and we'll put it all into perspective. It's Trump Show. I'm just going to show you how other presidents felt about immigration.
The bill before us will certainly do some good.
Well, let's start with that. He says he wants to do some good. Let's see what's next.
It will authorize some badly needed funding for better fences and better security along our borders.
Holy cow. Obama wanted to put up a fence. Nobody cares. I want to build a wall stronger. They have a problem with that. We're talking Three Little Pigs, people. He wants to use a fence. I'm talking about a wall that the big bad wolf can't blow down.
The fence is now basically complete.
Wow, Barack, you got 5 years out of that fence. Good job. We had to start building an actual wall because what you did was crap.
Maybe they'll need a moat.
Or maybe they'll need a wall.
Maybe they want alligators in the moat.
Now that one I have to give Barack. That was hilarious. Still, I'll take the wall.
Every place in this country are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country.
Bill Clinton says illegal aliens and everybody applauds and they get behind him. But Trump does, and they call him a xenophobe and a racist.
The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers.
You see, they're always with you when they need the vote. But as soon as they get in office, they turn on you. Get used to it, people. It's the way it's always been with the Democrats.
That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more.
Can you believe that?
By deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before.
Maybe I should hire Bill to say his words / my words on the campaign trail.
I voted for a fence. I voted unlike most Democrats, and some of you won't like it. I voted for 700-mile fence.
Wait, Sleep Sofa Joe voted for a fence too?
Let me tell you something, folks. People are driving across that border with tons, hear me, tons of everything from byproducts from methamphetamine to cocaine to heroin.
And listening to Sleep Sofa talk about the same issues I have with illegal aliens is just kind of laughable.
It's all coming up through corrupt Mexico.
Joe Biden mentions the drugs. He mentions the illegal aliens coming across the border. And he wants 700 miles of fence. No problem. He's not a xenophobe. He's not a racist. You call Trump whatever you want. That's the problem. You guys just make up your fake news. What do we have next? Anything left?
Former presidents have said to him that they wish that they had built a wall. Do you recall President Obama ever saying that?
Come on.
Bumbling Biden. At it again. Look, guys, you could tell it's a double talk situation with Biden. Everybody before me wanted a wall. Remember when Schumer said ineffective wall?
Construction of a 630-mile border fence create a significant barrier to illegal immigration on our southern land border.
So let me get this straight. In 2009, a fence is significant, but in 2020, a wall is ineffective? Really? Everybody before me wanted a wall. Trump gets it done.
Slash a sledgehammer. There's a sledgehammer on you right there. So, without further ado, the official 10th episode. How sour is that Don Lemon?
Hammerlin, Jamison, live from the studio. Donald Trump is back with episode 10. How sour is that Don Lemon?
Thank you for joining me on episode 10 of the Donald Trump Show. That's right. Today, we're going to continue our journey, destroying fake news. Today, we're going to look at CNN. Don Lemon. That's right, we call him Con Lemonhead here, but I have an old clip that came across my desk I wanted to share with you guys. So give me your perspectives, okay? Take a look at this.
It got some, many on the political right, wondering why the so-called liberal media wasn't talking about other problems in the black community.
That's interesting, Lemon. Why? Why would you say? This is 2013, by the way.
The outrage that I have is in the lack of really the national attention to what is an epidemic of crime in the black community, committed largely by blacks.
These are the same stats we're talking about now, and everyone calls us racist for bringing up.
Why aren't we talking about it? Good question. Actually, that's not a good question. We've talked about it many times on this show.
You have?
And on CNN.
You see, he could tell he was lying because he took a longer breath.
So that's the reason I didn't want to discuss at length crime in the African-American community or how to fix other ills that seem to be plaguing the community in general. But now that the jury has reached its verdict, one that everyone must accept, it's time now for some tough love on the subject.
Some tough love from the lemon? Sounds good to me.
Someone on another network got the chance to go first because I couldn't go during the week. I'm only here on the weekend, so listen to this.
The reason there is so much violence and chaos is the disintegration of the African-American family.
He's got a point.
He does?
In fact, he's got more than a point.
Wow. Don Lemon agrees with Bill O'Reilly. Who knew that was coming?
Drugs hustling gangs. Nobody forces them to do that. Again, it is a personal decision.
He is right about that too. But in my estimation, he doesn't go far enough.
Oh, Don Lemon's a mathematician now. Yes, I'd like to hear your estimation.
Black people, if you really want to fix the problem, here's just 5 things that you should think about doing.
Here we go. Cotton Lemonhead, 2013, 5 ways to fix the black community. Let's hear it.
Here's number 5. Pull up your pants.
Pants on the ground. Pants on the ground. Looking like a fool with your pants on the ground.
Number 4 now is the N-word.
Oh my. Here we go.
I understand poetic license, but consider this. I hosted a special on the N-word, suggesting that black people stop using it, and that entertainers stop deluding yourselves or themselves and others that you're somehow taking the word back.
I am curious what people think of that comment.
A lot of African Americans took offense to that too.
Oh, he answered it.
Now number 3. Respect where you live.
Is this a special message to the people in Chippy, Chaz? What are they calling themselves this week? I think it's a message to Chap.
Start small by not dropping trash, littering in your own communities.
Imagine if they played this over the loudspeakers in Chap.
I've lived in several predominantly white neighborhoods in my life. I rarely, if ever, witness people littering.
Here comes a cheap shot at his community.
I live in Harlem now. It's an historically black neighborhood. Every single day I see adults and children dropping their trash on the ground when a garbage can is just feet away.
Wow, stereotype much?
Just being honest here.
Interesting. When did you decide to get rid of the honesty policy, Leman?
Number 2, finish school. You want to break the cycle of poverty? Stop telling kids they're acting white because they go to school or they speak proper English.
What Don Lemon is saying right now would be considered racist in 2020.
A high school dropout makes on average $19,000 a year.
Wait, a year?
A high school graduate makes $28,000 a year.
Just graduating, you make 33% more per year.
A college graduate makes $51,000 a year.
That stat is less impressive to me. It costs like $50,000 a year for college. A college graduate makes $51,000?
Over the course of a career, a college grad will make nearly $1 million more than a high school graduate. That's a lot of money.
Yes, $1 million is a lot of money. It's a lot of money to the people of the United States of America. Not so much for Trump. I've got billions, okay?
And number 1, and probably the most important, just because you can have a baby, it doesn't mean you should.
Words you will never hear Don Lemonhead speak again.
Especially without planning for one or getting married first. More than 72% of children in the African American community are born out of wedlock. That means absent fathers.
Look, can't you see, this is the point. Nothing ever changes. It's always the same. It was 72% in 2013 when Obama was the president.
And the studies show that lack of a male role model is an express train right to prison. And the cycle continues.
Yesterday you saw that Sleep Sofa Joe was the one that put them in prison. And Don Lemon remarked how it's a problem in 2013 when Obama was in office. So what's the problem when Trump wants to fix it? Anybody? Bueller?
Pay attention to and think about what has been presented in recent history as acceptable behavior.
Is rioting in the streets acceptable behavior? It's a good question, Don Lemonhead. What do you think we should do, Don?
Pay close attention to the hip-hop and rap culture that many of you embrace.
I embrace the Sugar Hill Gang. To the hip-hop, to hip-hip-hip-hip-hip-hop, to top it, don't stop. To boogie-boogie, bang-bang, sugary-bug-bug.
A culture that glorifies everything I just mentioned. Thug and reprehensible behavior. A culture that is making a lot of people rich. Just not you.
The time CNN spoke the truth. Wow, it's almost surreal, right? It's surreal to see CNN speaking truth. I kind of like it. How do we get them to speak the truth always? So what happened to Don Lemon in 2020?
This is the thing. Don, you know, black people need to hold other black people accountable.
Okay, before we get started, that's what Don Lemonhead was doing in the 2013 clip we started with. Okay, watch.
I said this the same thing. This is the Black America's version of the Me Too movement. If anything is going to change, we ourselves need to look at our own communities and look at each other and say, this thing cannot go down.
I'm sorry, isn't that exactly what Don said?
And this is what I'm saying. It's about who is controlling the narrative. It's got to be all Black Lives Matter.
That sounds right. What does Don have to say?
Here's what I have to say.
All right, Spin Doctor. Let's see what you got here.
The Black Lives Matter movement was started because it was talking about police brutality. If you want an all Black Lives Matter movement that talks about gun violence in communities, including, you know, black communities, then start that movement with that name. But that's not what Black Lives Matter is about.
I'm soured by the hypocrisy. It's like eating a lemon. Oh.
So if you're talking about, if someone started a movement that said, cancer matters, and then someone comes in and said, why aren't you talking about HIV? It's not the same thing. We're talking about cancer.
I think Lemonhead doesn't grasp the concept of apples and oranges. If it's 100 people and you're there for all cancer matters, then it would be somebody who stands up and said, I have prostate cancer. And they would say, sit down, buddy. We just said all cancer matters.
So the Black Lives Matter movement is about police brutality and injustice in that manner, not about what's happening in black neighborhoods. There are people who are working on that issue, and if you want to start that issue, why don't you start it?
We have a hypocrite warning.
It is about police brutality. That should never be accepted. Yeah. I am not saying that that's not it, but there's more there. Okay. And when I look at, if they have more on their agenda, we need to ask them about what else is on that agenda.
Don't you just love how uncomfortable Terry Crews made Don Lemonhead? It was hilarious. You could see he got very uncomfortable when he realized he couldn't control Terry Crews. I wonder, could we get Terry Crews on the Trump team? We should look into it. Look, I will see you tomorrow on the next Trump show. Have a good night.
So, guys, that's official. The 10th episode of the Donald Trump show. And my theory is that these need to get out there. People need to see them. Austin, how are you, bud? Head over to the YouTube page, subscribe and ding the bell, Austin. And I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. We've been on for 2 hours, 27 minutes, 23 seconds. You should go back over on Instagram. You're gonna, if you pop on right now, you hear this. If not, I'm gonna erase that anyway. Head over to YouTube. Watch the first 23 minutes. Something happened there. It was actually from like minute 3 until 23. So about 20 minutes of of straight passion about what's going on in this world right now, and you need to hear it. And we need to share it. And somehow I need to have someone get in touch with the Hodge twins. I sent them a couple clips the other day, didn't hear back, but I'm going to keep trying. I want to get those guys on the show or go on their show or something, but I want to do some Trump for them. I tell them how much I appreciate what they're doing. But I think that if we spoke, we'd have a lot of fun. If I could just get them to see that. If we can get them to see the Trump shows. The Don Lemonhead one is a perfect one. The crazy thing is, like, it's so controversial because of what freaking Don Lemon said. And look, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just here editing. I'm editing and I'm Donald Trump. I let Donald Trump speak. When I'm Christopher Walken, I let Christopher Walken. When I'm Owen Wilson, I let Owen talk. Like, whatever. Just whatever happens and comes in my mind in the moment is going to come out. So nothing that can be said can be considered offensive or racist because all I'm doing is playing Don Lemon's racist comments and racist clips. Like, sorry, that's what the whole point is, hypocrisy. What I don't understand is how they could want to do the same things when they're in office, but as soon as they're not in office, they make this guy seem like he's the worst human being in the world for wanting these things. They all asked for some sort of protection for the border wall. As soon as they're not in office, they want everybody in. because they want the votes to get that office back. As soon as they're in, they'll say, we have a problem with the southern border. Bill Clinton did the same thing. So did Obama. Obama, you saw the Great Wall of Trump? This is real, guys. The hypocrisy is real. And the reality is that, coronavirus aside, the things that were going on prior to coronavirus were insane and positive for the country. And Sleep Sofa Joe Biden will only bring us back to a recession at the worst. Even if the coronavirus goes back and we're like normal, Sleep Sofa Joe destroys our country. You hear some of the things he wants to take on Bernie's, a lot of Bernie's platform. It's socialism, guys. Socialism is communism. I don't care what you say, it's communism. It leads to communism. We're just destroying our freedom. We're destroying the Constitution of the United States for freaking communism. And look, this is a frightening election coming up because some of you out there want communism. That's frightening. And I just have one thing to say to anybody in this country that wants communism, but they're masking it in socialism, but they really truly want communism. Get the hell out of this country. Get out. Go to Cuba. Go to China. Go to Russia. But get the hell out of America. We don't take your kind here. This is a country where people appreciate what they have. Chromium is a natural stimulant. Did I get him? Freaking keep missing that fly. He's been killing me. He's been flying all over the place. Does anybody else disagree with what I just said? You either appreciate this country or get the heck out of this country. There are people out there that fight for you to be able to have these rights. Do you know that I would never go to war? I would never fight. I would never shoot somebody. Never be able to. But there are people that will do that for me. So I can fight here. So I can shoot bullets with my mouth. It's crazy when you start realizing the full gravity of what you're meant to do. Like, I just see so much darkness that we just need to burst. We need to blow right through it with as much might, as much I feel like if we start, it will grow. If we start together, it's stronger. And as we go, I'm seeing it. It's just growing. And people are tagging along, and all of a sudden, their mindsets are changing. It's not about hate. It's about love. It's about sharing. It's about continuing an existence that we need to continue. And that existence only continues if we connect. We destroy ourselves if we keep going down this path. And make these Trump episodes, because if you guys don't understand how important it is to get 4 more years to drain the swamp, they're fighting so hard for that not to happen. Every single thing you see on a daily basis, like, if he loses, Trump must resign immediately and make Biden president. No, comma, really.
Hammerlin, Jamison live.
The bylines of every story you see online, they're all slighted towards Joe Biden. They all make Trump look crazy. Everything he says is racist. Watch his full Mount Rushmore speech. Nothing racist there, people. But every single byline after that speech talked about how Trump is inciting violence and racism and It's insanity. Trump is something that I coined an American supremacist. The word nationalist is a bad definition to it based on, you know, Adolf Hitler, who murdered people, by the way. But Trump is an American supremacist. Because when I heard someone last week say, "Oh, I hate Trump, he's a white supremacist," I was like, do you have any idea what the hell you're talking about? He's a freaking billionaire who's helped people, and maybe he's done stupid stuff along the way because he was a businessman. But I've seen how he treats everybody, and I've seen what he's done for the inner cities and for the communities that you're saying he doesn't care about. And when he got 5% of the vote, and he's signing the Jail Reform Act and releasing 97% of black people, 4,400 people, and he's creating incentive areas where I forget what they're called. Business. He's got these business boosting areas all over in these inner cities for people to go get jobs, to go and like that. Why didn't Obama do any of that? Why didn't he put $250 billion into the inner cities in order to help communities get on their feet? Because the bottom line is, the Democrat way is keep you down so you need them. The Republican way is help you figure out how you can make it on your own. And it's not just a Trump thing. I'm realizing that in my years now. It's the mentality behind it, is they're teaching you how to fish. And it's not even like that, oh, if you do this, you do that. Like, just the idea that we are giving away not only our identity, our liberty, or we're giving away our freedoms, and then we're giving away, like, the ability to make the money. Like, think about if we go to a currency-less society where we're just dealing on credit. It's a scary world. Everything they're doing, I think, is shifting towards that, by the way. I have a buddy who's this is another conspiracy I'm on right now. Check this out. I should ask my buddy if he'll come on the air. Tim. My buddy Tim is a massive, like, genius finance guy. And he keeps saying that what he sees is criminal. That this small group, this cabal of people are just reaming the system right now in the stock market, okay? And they're making so much money right now, an obscene amount of money, and everybody else, i.e. us, are going to wind up being faced with this $7 trillion, whatever the hell that is that's going on right now, while they sit in that bank, okay? Hey, Kev, how are you? Head over to YouTube if you can. Sitting on that bank, okay? What happens is they switch over to a credit system. Now Joe Schmo Simpson says, oh, I got $45 million inside my account. Okay, here's your $45 million credit card. Debit card. That's all the money you get. And you get to fill it. And blah, 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 blah. But they grease the system. They get every penny out of it. So when it does go to a digital society, digital currency, they just transfer that ridiculous amount of worthless, it's basically paper money at this point. They're just printing it out to keep us going. It's kind of crazy. But these people sit there with this huge cash cow, convert it into digital currency, and now they're multi-millionaires digitally, and they can sit on their tails the rest of their lives. This is a theory I'm working on right now. I was starting to work on this today, thinking about it. What do you guys think? I think that could be a thing. I think that could really be a thing. That's what happens. You get Mary Ann on the show, and all of a sudden I'm starting to think like an investigative journalist. I'm putting things together. I got the thing about my solar. I got this thing. What the hell else am I start thinking about? It's funny when you start doing stuff like that. You start finding an interest in doing stuff, and then you start, puzzling, putting pieces together of a puzzle. You're like, I kind of like that, Now I'm just really interested. That's it. I think it's really cool. Let's see. Denise said, to be an American citizen is a privilege. Denise, you're absolutely right. Biden is just a means to an end. Biden cannot seriously be their end. No, that's the truth. I'm thinking, and this is what I'm also thinking. Here's my other theory. Biden is actually the perfect candidate for the radical left, because he won't know the moves they're trying to make. He won't know. He doesn't even understand what's happening now. He doesn't know what's going on day to day. So if they can get him in there with a pen and not know what he's signing, essentially, or start reading something he forgets 2 seconds later and he's signing it at the end. Oh, this is my biggest fear. Ready? Oh, Mr. President, we need you to sign those documents you said you'd sign. I did? Yes, sir. Remember we talked about it earlier in the Rose Garden? Oh, yeah, that's right. Here you go, sir. Oh, maybe I should read it again. No, don't worry about it, sir. We did that for you. You did? Yeah, just initial right here. Okay. Sleep sofa. No, don't use your nickname, sir. Just write down Joe Biden. Joe. Sir, can you just finish Biden and we're all set? Okay, Biden. Good, thank you, sir. We're good. Communism's now we're good. We're a thing now. It's gonna happen. Here's the thing, guys. This is why they can't take our arms. Do you know the reason why we have the ability to carry, the ability to carry arms and protect our families? It's a weird thing, is to be able to throw and overthrow your government. Right? You guys know that, right? Now, it's a crazy thing to think that you could take over tanks and this, but originally the intention was, if you had a coup, if you had the government needed to be taken over, that's why you can't take our arms, is because we need to be able to take over, to take over the power of the government again, from a coup, from a foreign nation, from... That's what it is. But we... Thank you, Denise. I appreciate it. I will keep going, because I just want to say one more thing that I think is very interesting. People that look backwards and see the past differently than it really went down, I think it's a disservice in a way. Like, I look back at what I was taught, and now when I find out what was really going on, I feel like almost like I get like this icky feeling. Like, why would you lie to me? You know what I mean? Like, just tell me what's going on. I'm a big boy. Like the whole, this is going out into left field, totally. But like the UFO thing, just freaking tell us. This is 2020. We have coronavirus. People are dying all the time. I mean, just freaking tell people what's going on. Yeah, there are aliens. Yeah, we know there are aliens. Just show us everything, you stupid people. Oh, we're going to protect them from something. Are you freaking kidding me? Do you see the stuff we see in CGI and whatever else that's going on in this world? Please. Guarantee most people would be like, that's cool. That's really cool. They'll be like... Look, if they're going to come and take over our world, we cannot do a thing about it. Those things, those aircraft, the way they move. Again, theory, there is really nothing inside them. They don't have, beings in there. I think you maybe would find that, unless they figured out a propulsion system where you're moving at Mach, whatever, and you're sitting inside of it, sitting still. Like, almost the way that you right now don't feel that the Earth is moving at 14,950 miles an hour, whatever it is. You don't feel it. We don't feel ourselves moving. Just like in the car when you're going 90 miles an hour. Once you get to 90 miles an hour, you really don't feel like you're going 90 miles an hour. You feel like you're kind of going still. If you sit still at any speed, everything starts moving at that speed like it's normal. You know what I'm saying? Now we're really getting out there. But this is what we do on Real Talk. At 2 hours and 43 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh, well, Denise, I appreciate it, and I love seeing you come on. And whenever you can come on, and again, no pressure, but when you come on, it's awesome. I love seeing it. And Dagger and Sigger couldn't come on tonight, but I missed you, buddy. And Paul. And who else did I miss? Dane. And you know who you are. If you come on this show and you support this program, you are my people. Right now, definitely very tired. It's been a long week. It's 1:30. I got to get going. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to come on earlier, guys. I want to try to be on around 5-ish, 5:30 tomorrow. Don't know what I'm going to do. Probably a face swap of some sort. Are we going to do the start to episode 2 of Donald Trump, like the official 1-hour episode like we just did? I don't know. Guess you'll have to tune in to find out. But thank you guys. Thanks. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe if you have not yet, and remind people that we will be here connecting again tomorrow, breaking through the darkness and destroying it. That's it, guys. All we can do now is destroy the darkness. It's crazy when you all of a sudden you realize the mission is so much bigger than you thought. God, it's not just me coming out here to just sing and play the guitar and to say a couple inspiring words. We got to fight this system as a unified people. And if we do it, and we join hands, we can hopefully get the rest of them that are seeing the dark right now, and they're seeing the bull crap, and they're thinking it's truth, to see the light. Final takeaway. When you see positive things get smothered in negativity, you know there's a problem. Life is about taking in the negativity, or the positivity, and getting rid of the negativity. When you see the opposite, times are very scary. And anybody who could feel energy could see that. You see all these great things going on, State of the Union, and they're all throwing negativity on it? What's that about? Well, they don't like when you do well. When you do well, they don't do well. They don't win their seats in the election. They can't go in and say, oh, we're going to help you, because you just got helped for the first time ever by a guy who was not a politician. He's a billionaire who decided not to get paid for the last 3.5, well, going on 4 years. Just went in there and decided to try to make a change. And I got to say, I would never do it. But if I did, you better be damn I'm collecting that money. You better be damn. I'm not going to sit there and be like, I'll take all that crap coming from the fake news. Mark, yeah, we have a question for you. Why was it that you did this yesterday? I can't believe you did that. It looked terrible. Actually, the people said they were the worst president ever when you did that. Oh, did they really? Oh, thanks. Fake news, right? Jake, what the hell is your name again? I'm sorry, I forgot. I forgot who you are. I'll forget as soon as I look in that direction. I love when Trump says like that. Where are you from? What's it? Oh, Yahoo. That's right. Yeah, nobody knows you. That's why you're at Yahoo. Because you're a Yahoo. Look, did you get that? I called her a Yahoo. Oh, why would you call me that? Is that because I'm Chinese? Excuse me? I called you a Yahoo because you're a moron. If you're Chinese and you're a moron, it's even crazier because most Chinese people are brilliant. Now that's a stereotype. But winning big league, I would say. Whew, guys, I'm tired. Listen, I appreciate you. Tomorrow, whole new day, and it's going to be earlier. Don't forget. Hold on a second. Let me shut that off. It's going to be earlier. I'm talking about like 5:30, all right? So see you tomorrow. Spread the word. Bring your requests. And an appetite for some positivity. It's Mark Byers. And it's Real Talk. Thank you guys. You're awesome. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.